Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
How old are you, Mr. Hinton?
19.
What's your first name?
Sammy?
Sammy, what's your last name?
Harbor.
Sammy used to be your girlfriend.
Yes.
This is her mom.
Yes, ma'am.
What you're complaining about is, while Sammy was your girlfriend, you claim to have loaned her some stereo equipment for her car.
Yes.
And you want it back.
Yes.
Sammy says you didn't loan her anything. You made her a gift of the stereo equipment for her car. And in addition, that you've been making a real pest of yourself, harassing her. You broke into her car, took back a piece of the equipment that you claim to have loaned her, an amplifier. Is that right, Sammy?
Yes.
Is that right, Mr. Hinton?
No.
Did you take back an amplifier?
No, Your Honor.
Who did? Anybody you know?
I've never heard nothing about it.
Mr. Hinton, let's not play with each other. Do you have the amplifier back?
No, Your Honor.
They also say that you broke into the house,
It's not correct.
killed her goldfish, calling, sending emails, making a general pest of yourself. And they're countersuing. So tell me how it came about that you gave her this stereo equipment.
Well, we broke up May of 2002. We remained friends, and in August she came over and wanted to borrow all that equipment. We were still friends, and I had plenty of it, so I let her borrow it. And she wanted to borrow the amplifier.
Tell me what she said to you.
She said, "Can I borrow it?
Can I borrow what? Mr. Hinton?
Can I borrow the speakers, the amplifier, 212s, 210s?" And she just bought a new car. She wanted to put it in there. And she said she'd give it back once her mother bought her some new ones.
She'd give it back once her mother bought her some new ones.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said, yes. We're still
Well, what
friends.
would happen, Mr. Hinton, if her mother never bought her new ones?
Well, she'd eventually give it back.
You didn't have that discussion.
Well, she said her mother would buy her new ones.
That's not what she said to me, Mr. Hinton. You got to be very careful, sir. You got to get up real early in the morning. If I believed what you say, she said, can I borrow yours or can I have yours until my mother buys me my own?
She said, can I borrow yours until my mother buys me some more?
Right. Okay, let's say she said that to you.
And...
Shh, listen to me. Let's say she said that to you.
All right.
Let me explain a contract to you, Mr. Hinton. Because what you're suing on is a verbal contract. A loan. A loan has to have an offer and acceptance and some possibility, an offer, which means you offered to loan her the equipment. She accepted the offer to borrow the equipment, according to you. That's not what she's going to tell me, but according to you. And then there has to be an event that's going to happen that causes the equipment to go back. Do you understand? An event like May 2nd, June 6th, on Bird's birthday, on my birthday, on your birthday, the equipment's going to go back. In your case, what you told me is she told you that the equipment would go back to you when her mother bought her new equipment. Do you understand?
Yes.
And my question to you is, what happens if her mother never buys her new equipment? That means you never get your equipment back. Do you understand the terms of the contract, sir?
Yes, but a few months I called her back and she said she'd send it back with her mother when she came to Albuquerque. And then I waited, her mother never showed up. I called again, she gave me the same runaround. So then the third time I called, she said, if you want your stuff, come get it yourself. And she lives about 3 hours away from me. So I drive down there, I stay at a friend's house, Las Cruces, which is about 70 miles from there.
Shh, don't interrupt him.
Which is about 70 miles from there. And I call her in the morning before she goes to school. She says, come get it at 3:30. I said, all right. I go over there, I call her house, nobody's home. I call again after I drive around, still nobody's there. So I go to her school.
You're putting me to sleep, you know that.
I go to her school, and I see her car there. I'm parked out there in the parking lot, and I see her grandparents. They drive up to my car saying, what are you doing here? We don't want you here. We don't want you around Sammy Joe. I say, Sammy Joe told me to come get my stuff. I'm here to get it. Then they get me saying that I stole stuff from her, CDs, tapes from a 70-year-old woman and man. I don't think I listen to that kind of music. And then I say, can you just go ask Sammy Joe if she has my stuff so I can get out of this town? They park next to a gray car. They come back, and the gray car comes circling around me, like the guys in the car throwing their hands up, yelling and wanting to fight. The grandparents are all, look, they don't want you in this town. You better leave. I said, what did Sammy Joe say? He said, your equipment's in her boyfriend's car, and you're not getting it back. Your Honor, her boyfriend don't even have a car. So at that point, I was frustrated. I went home, and I received these emails from her, some very vulgar emails, if you'd like to read them.
I would certainly like to read them.
And in
Mr. Hinton, how old was Sammy when you gave her the equipment?
15.
See, that's another problem you have, Mr. Hinton, because what you are suing on in court is a contract, right?
Yes.
Because a contract can be written or it can be verbal. You didn't have a written contract. With her, it was verbal, right?
But my witness was there when she said about it.
You're not paying attention to me, sir. You're paying attention to what's going on in your own head. What we're talking about here is a verbal contract, which has the same force and effect as a written contract, right? Except you have to be 18. Because a minor can't enter into a binding contract. Now read the emails. Well, although this has to do with your lack of sexual prowess, sir, this has nothing to do with this has absolutely nothing to do with the stereo equipment. It's interesting.
This one, right?
Listen to me. It's interesting, but it has absolutely nothing to do with this case. So while I found it sort of salty, dear, I won't even show it to your mother.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Have you ever been incarcerated?
No.
Would you like to be incarcerated?
No.
There is a strong possibility that if you don't leave these people alone, you're going to find yourself incarcerated.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jacob Hinton says ex-girlfriend 16-year-old Sammy Jo Harper owes for the return of a car stereo. Sammy Jo says Jacob won't stop harassing her.
Now I'll read the other one. Thanks, Bird. What is this?
It's a letter my grandmother wrote.
I'm not interested in a letter that your grandmother wrote, sir.
Asking her about whether or not I let her borrow it or not. And she says, in the highlighted, she clearly writes that she's going to return it.
Talk about a PlayStation here.
Yeah, in her counterclaim, she says she bought the whole PlayStation, which she did not. In that, she says she did not.
Get with the issue, Mr. Hinton. The issue is the stereo equipment for the car. Now, Sammy, how old are you, dear?
16.
First of all, I'm going to suggest that there's a very good lesson to you. Don't put things in writing that you don't want other people to read. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have some emails to show me that he sent to you?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them.
Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are from one of his friends from Albuquerque.
I don't want to read emails from his friends.
Well, from him and him telling this
Just a
girl.
second. Would you return these to him? I don't have time to read a tome. If I wanted to read a good book, I would buy a good book. Get me the emails from him.
There's one in the back.
And don't aggravate me. My voice is going today. Thanks, Bird. I guess you're not going into the ministry either. You know that there are other four-letter words in the English language like love and like and...
Like?
And bike, right? Bike, right? Joke. Dumb. It's a four-letter word that comes to mind.
Hate.
Hate. No. Dumb. No. Doesn't hate. He's 19. He was 18. He was 17 when he was involved with your daughter. They have raging hormones. You know, their best friend isn't their mind.
No.
If you know what I mean.
Not by
Both of them.
I know.
Both of them. Their best friend isn't their brain. Sometimes it stays that way.
Hopefully not.
All right, but I don't want to deal with this anymore. Mr. Hinton, you gave her the stereo equipment. Get over it. Stop crying. Stop fetching. Now, what proof do you have that he broke into your house and your harassment, the emails that you're talking about, the emails that he wrote to?
Yeah.
You ought to read hers.
I have.
Yes.
Well, so stop. I don't want any fetching about the emails. I want to know what proof that you have that he broke into your house.
During the time that we were together, which is approximately 2 years, he was over at my house a lot, and I have 2 dogs, and they don't let strangers into our yard and our house area. And we had just moved here, and they're not going to let anybody they don't know into our yard. And they broke into my room specifically, and he's the only one that had been in my house and knows what room.
That's not proof good enough for a court.
Ma'am,
Unless your mother has some other proof.
the neighbor across the street saw a vehicle.
Be more than
like
happy to
his.
hear the neighbor.
Well,
not
this
the neighbor.
isn't the neighbor.
not
This
my
is the
neighbor.
boy that was there that she was a witness to when he gave her the equipment, but,
I need a witness,
okay.
not you telling me what a witness is going to tell me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you have any proof?
An email where he admitted stealing the CDs out of the car.
That if he admitted,
Go get it.
Just shut. Hey, if you have an email where he acknowledges that he stole property out of her car, I will read it.
We didn't bring it, but we do have it. I'm sorry.
Okay. If you had the email, I would read it.
Okay.
That's a confession. It's a
Yes,
written
ma'am.
confession. And then I would show it to him. Confront him with it. Anything else?
Well, we're countersuing for the harassment, too. Not only did
What harassment?
calling, coming by, we asked him not to call our house. He threatened her. He broke into my house, which you say I can't prove. That's fine. He claimed his grandmother, which you have that email, said that he says my son let him into our house at that date. My son was gone to a barrel race with me.
I never said that.
Listen to me. Let's get over it. When was the last contact your daughter had with him?
The day that he took me up into
He
the
kidnapped
mountains
her.
when we had gone.
We have
Give me the date.
It was before I had gotten the speaker equipment. And he had given me the speaker equipment as...
That's a witness.
Give me the date.
It's September.
September of '02.
About there, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the last
That's after I gave you the. That's after I said I gave it to her in August.
It was August or
I'm
September.
asking you
Now
a
was your
question. The last contact you had with him was in September of
No, ma'am.
2002?
August.
Except for when
Except
he
for
came
his
to our
grandmother.
house.
When was that?
He came in February to...
February of '03.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
went to her house.
Shh. Hey,
He came in February of '03.
since then, has he contacted you?
He calls and hangs up.
You can't prove that.
Caller ID.
Then I think that you should file a police report.
They told me to at our local county.
Well,
They
then that's
wanted
what you
me
ought to do.
throw him
File a
in
police
jail.
report because that's aggravated harassment
Yes,
if he's
ma'am.
doing it. You have him arrested for that. Good.
Yes,
That's what
ma'am.
you ought to do. But other than that, he hasn't come around. Is that right? Since February?
No, ma'am.
Good.
Until we got
Perfect.
this notice.
Perfect. Mr. Hinton, I want you to listen to me very carefully. Have you ever been incarcerated?
No.
Would you like to be incarcerated?
No.
There is a strong possibility, that if you don't leave these people alone, you're going to find yourself incarcerated. Now, I know that 19 sounds like, you still got years to go before you develop. But in the eyes of the law, you're a grown-up. And this kind of kid stuff is not kid stuff anymore. Calling, hanging up, having somebody else call, hang up, sending stupid emails that may not be threatening, but just put your hand down, madam. It's all stupid because it can get you into trouble. It's over with Sammy Joe. The love affair is over. She doesn't want to have any part of you anymore. The only part that she wants to have of you is the stereo equipment that you let her borrow until her mother got her new stuff. By the way, did you ever get her new stereo equipment?
No, ma'am.
Well, then the eventuality, even if she could make a contract, never came to pass. So I'm going to suggest that you devote your time to going to school, maybe take a business course in contracts. But leave her alone. Now, Semi,
Yes.
sometimes young girls, even though they don't want to have anything to do with exes anymore, like to feel as if they still have their attention. That better not be so in this case, because if you write him, call him, contact him, tell a friend you'd like to see him, whatever it is, it's not very smart. You let Mr. Hinton and his hormones grow up. You got it? Now, it's been many months since there has been contact between the two of you. The longer that goes, the better off you both are. So you have February, March, April, May, June, months. It's over. You have a new girlfriend?
No.
Listen, Mr. Hinton,
What?
find one. What are you doing with your life?
Nothing.
You go to school
Yes, Your Honor.
5 days a week?
2.
For what?
Medical school.
You go to medical school 2 days a week? In what country? I want to stay away from that country. What kind of medical school do you go to 2 days a week, sir?
TVI.
What are they teaching you to do?
Be a radiology technician.
That's good. That's not medical school, by the way. You're learning to be a radiology technician. Why only 2 days a week?
That's full time.
Do you live at home?
Yes.
Why aren't you working?
I haven't found a job.
What?
I haven't found a job.
How hard are you looking?
Not really hard.
You still in school?
I just graduated.
And what are you doing?
I start college in Las Cruces in August.
Good. Say goodbye to each other. Hopefully you're not going to see each other again. Right? Good. Don't email them. Don't call them. Don't contact them. Sir, forget her number. You got it?
It's already forgotten, Your Honor.
Good. And if you're smart, you change your number. You don't want them to call. Change your number. You run a business out of the house?
No, ma'am.
Good. Change your number. Bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had emails and witnesses saying that he gave it to me.
It was kind of ridiculous.
It didn't fit in his vehicle anyways.
This woman ruined my life.
He lies totally. And he doesn't work because he lives off his grandma helping him.
She used to curse. Look at her.
He just needs to grow up.
She's just all in all ruined it.
He wants to see Sammy. He wants her back.
Never, ever.
They're going to keep bugging me and everything.
She felt sorry for him.
During
He
the
doesn't
time
have
that
a
we were
life.
together, he was probably my best friend.
I'd like to see them out of my life and my stuff back, but obviously that's not going to happen.
He kidnapped her.
He took me up into the mountains and told me he was supposed to go take me to get a new tire for my car.
And he slashed.
My friends were following in the back, and the only reason he stopped was because his truck bottomed out.
It's ridiculous. They're both crazy. Look at him, man.
That she'll learn when I tell her that somebody's not right for her, that they're not right for her.
This is Norvell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Ms. Renanda, your complaint alleges that Mr. Norvell's son burglarized your house, took some property that didn't belong to him, some knives, and some of your jewelry. The knives were returned. The jewelry, however, according to you, was not returned, and you want Mr. Norvell to compensate you for the jewelry.
I was going to ask him if he ever got any of it back. Okay.
Now, Mr. Norvell says that at first he agreed to compensate you for some of the jewelry, and he paid you some money. How much did you give her?
I'm not exactly sure. I thought it was over, Your Honor. Around $200.
How much did he give you?
$125.
But then he stopped making payments because he found out something. Now, what's your first name?
Zachary.
Zachary. How old are you, Zachary?
13.
You know this lady?
Yes, I do.
You burglarized her house?
Her boyfriend's house.
What property did you take?
Some knives and a bag that looked like drugs, so I took it.
A bag with drugs?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I'd like to state that...
You weren't there with your son, were you?
No, ma'am.
Good. So I want you to be quiet. See, I'm going to get all the facts, Mr. Norvell. Now, Zachary, is this the first house you burglarized?
Yes, ma'am.
What made you decide to burglarize this particular house?
For drugs.
For drugs. What kind of drugs were you looking for?
Marijuana.
Why were you looking for marijuana, Zachary?
Because I had a key made so I can enter the trailer to get drugs from one of my friends that lived there.
Well, why don't you explain that to me?
All right, well, one day he was staying there on the weekend.
Who's he?
Aaron.
Who's Aaron?
Aaron.
For some reason, I don't see him.
One of my friends that used to live there. So.
Okay, now this young man, Aaron, I understand from your answer, Mr. Norvell, is the plaintiff's boyfriend's son. Is that right?
Yes.
And his name is Aaron, and he stayed with you and your boyfriend occasionally.
He stayed with his father, yes.
Tell me what Aaron had to do with this, because this is your father's defense. Your father has a defense that, well, Aaron was part of this shenanigans, so he shouldn't have to pay for anything, right? That's your defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, good.
And also
I didn't ask you anything else. I just want you to just plant your foot firmly in your mouth. Now, Zachary, did you plan to take this stuff with Aaron?
Yes.
It's not an answer.
Actually, at the time, yeah, I was hoping he would be there, but he wasn't there, so I went in looking for the drugs, and I took the bag that I mistaked for the drugs, and it was jewelry, and I didn't need it, so I tossed it.
What do you mean Aaron wasn't there, Zachary?
Well, I thought he would be there because it was the weekend, and he stays with his dad on the weekend sometimes.
How did you get the key?
He brought it to. He brought his dad's key that he gives him on the weekend, so he can go over there and unlock his dirt bike and stuff. And the house key was on it, so he had me make a duplicate of it.
Why did he want you to make a copy?
So we can enter the house to get drugs.
Now, when you say you tossed this jewelry, where did you toss it, Zachary?
On the side of a road, actually.
What was inside?
An old watch that was rusted up and a few earrings.
Now, what made you think this was drugs?
Because it looked like it was in the bag that the drugs is in, because he showed it to me for.
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason why he said before is because he broke into the house a couple days before he took anything. His dad gives him a key-making machine for Christmas or whatever.
Shh. You have a list of the jewelry that was there?
I do. This is a paper that he signed, too.
Okay. You signed this note?
Yes, ma'am, I did that
Okay, you
before I
signed.
knew other things was going on.
The answer is, yes, Your Honor, I signed this note agreeing to pay her $2,250 for the jewelry.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at some point, you decided that you weren't going to pay her for the jewelry, so you want to tell me why, sir?
Because I found out the whole truth, I believe.
Give me the truth, the whole truth, sir, as you understand it.
The truth is that the two kids had a key made so they could enter to her trailer and find the drugs, and which I figured out that obviously there's other things going on over there other than just pot being there. And I am not going to give her money for the purpose of buying more drugs for the kids to have availability to. Plus, she told me that she had found part of the jewelry.
Did you find any of the jewelry?
What I found, I had 2 bags of jewelry in his wooden box that he keeps locked.
Just answer my question. Did you find anything on this list?
No. No, I didn't.
Now, Mr. Norvell, I'm going to try to dissect what you say to me. You say that your son wasn't solely responsible.
No, ma'am, not on his own. The intent was for both kids to enter the trailer. It was a joint thing for them both to have access to the trailer.
Let me tell you something about being a criminal. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, ma'am, once I have.
For what?
For not appearing.
Not appear. You don't get a. You mean somebody sent you an invitation? You chose not to come. They arrested you. Spent 10 days in jail.
Yes, ma'am. I was ticketed and didn't pay. I didn't show up to court.
Didn't show up to court for what?
For driving violation.
Now listen to me very carefully. If you and Aaron were both arrested, and I found that, well, I think Aaron's a better kid than you are. Just because that's what I think. I think he gets better grades in school. I think that he tries harder. So I'm going to put you in jail for 3 years, and I'm only going to put him in jail for 1 year. Would that be fair?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, it would. There is nothing in the penal law, in the criminal law, in any state that says that two people convicted of the same crime have to get the same sentence. Blind justice doesn't mean stupid justice.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You better straighten him out, because when somebody starts walking the wrong path, and if their father is making excuses for them, you're going to go and visit him in big boys jail.
And later today,
I did tell her that I was married.
Actually, what he said was that they were going through a divorce. And then I later found out about the domestic restraining order against him.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mary Renander says her former neighbor, 13-year-old Zachary Norvell, entered her home and stole jewelry. Zachary says he was looking to steal drugs.
According to you, Aaron made a key so that you could go in and steal drugs, right?
Yes.
But you didn't go in there to steal drugs. You went in there and you stole knives and jewelry.
Yes.
I didn't ask you for anything.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Aaron wasn't even there, right?
Yes.
So I don't know what you're trying to teach your son, Mr. Norvell, but I'm telling you, you made an agreement, and you made an agreement with the plaintiff that she would not pursue the... Hey, do I look like I need your help?
I'm sorry.
She would not call the police and have your son arrested, which is something I'm sure you didn't want. And the condition of her giving up that right that she has was for you, and hopefully your son, making restitution to her. And the fact that later you had second thoughts because Aaron was also partially responsible, you're absolutely right. Sue Aaron!
That's right. Why would I give her money for drugs for kids to have?
Listen to me. Listen to me. Sue Aaron for what you think Aaron's share should be in this $2,250. Bring the case before me. Maybe you'll get a positive result. But as it relates to the victim, you pay what you agreed to pay. You have a contract with her. She gave up a right, and you have a son who has to be taught a lesson. What kind of a lesson did you teach him, Mr. Norvell?
Actually, he had to work around the house and do some extra chores, and he was grounded for some time.
Well, that sounds like a plan. I'm deducting from the $2,250, the $125 that was paid, leaving $1,000.
And what about the jewelry that was found, Your Honor?
I don't believe she found any, and you can't prove that she found any.
She did, and my daughter's a witness that she found some.
It's a lie. I did not.
Yes, you told me that you had found some of the jewelry.
The jewelry that he took was my dead mother's.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear anymore. $2,125. Is this the first time you were arrested?
Yes. Actually, I was arrested more than once for this.
Tell me what happened when you were arrested.
Well, they came to my house and they took me down to the police station and put handcuffs on me.
Really? Did you like that?
No.
And when were you arrested again?
Can't remember when it was, but I know I was arrested more than once.
How old are you?
13.
You're age 13 and you've been arrested more than once? You can't remember?
When it happened.
You can't remember what it was for?
City Market.
What do you mean City Market?
He was in trouble because he stole something from City Market, and that's why they asked me not to call the police, because he was already in trouble. And the laundromat.
Were you arrested before for stealing at a City Market?
No, I was not arrested for that.
Were you taken into custody?
That was actually the time that he was arrested. He wasn't arrested for this other incident.
Looks are very deceiving. Mr. Norvell, I think that your son is barking up the wrong path, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You better straighten him out, because when somebody starts walking the wrong path, and if their father is making excuses for them, you're going to go and visit him in big boys jail.
Your Honor?
I'm not.
Okay.
Listen.
The next day, I asked him if he would, next time he felt like breaking into somebody's house, if he would call me and I'll come pick him up and we'll go to Dairy Queen or something. And he called me the very next day. And I picked him up, and we went and had dinner, and just so he wouldn't go break into another place, you know?
That's because I wanted to have fun.
You think burglarizing somebody's house is fun?
No, I wanted to go play PlayStation.
Who else lives in your house, Mr. Norvell?
My daughter, Lena.
I'm sure that you're trying. You better try harder.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Parties are huge. You may step out.
I've cleaned up my act and I don't do drugs no more.
He went and bought drugs with the knives that he got out of the house.
I just don't want to give no money out to a person that's going to make drugs available to kids.
Zach doesn't realize what he's taken from me, and his dad doesn't give what he does.
There's something going on there that the kids even know that there's drugs there.
He's left alone all the time. I mean, that's why Zach goes and breaks into places.
Drowned him, and and I've actually got him in treatment right now because of it.
Zach doesn't realize what he took from me, and I wanted Zach to know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Picone versus Benson. Step forward, please.
Technical writer Louis Piccone is suing his ex-girlfriend, nurse Frances Benson, for a series of loans when she was short on money. Frances says Louis never told her he was married.
Mr. Piccone, you were separated from your wife for a brief period of time. And you were separated because there was evidently some sort of an altercation. She had a restraining order against you. Is that right?
Yes.
And because you probably couldn't be alone for very long, you hooked up with Miss Benson.
Yes.
But you didn't tell Miss Benson about this brief interlude from your wife right away. In any event, Miss Benson was new to the neighborhood, had a few financial problems, and according to you, you made 3 loans to her, totaling $1,200. Then you and your wife reconciled.
That's correct.
And now you want your money back. Miss Benson says she was your girlfriend. She didn't have a lot of money. She was recently moved to the area. Where were you from?
Texas.
And you do what most boyfriends do. You helped her out, gave her money, and she was very appreciative. It wasn't until after you went back to your wife that you wanted the money back. That
Correct.
Did he tell you he was married?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Was he wearing his wedding ring?
No, ma'am, he was not.
What?
Well, I did tell her that I was married. I didn't have my wedding ring on, but I did tell her the situation that I was in.
What situations did you tell her, Mr. Piccone?
That my wife and I were separated at that time, and that I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
That sound familiar?
Actually, what he said was that they were going through a divorce. And then I later found out about the domestic restraining order against him.
Why don't you tell me about the loans that you're suing for, Mr. Piccone?
Maybe 2.5 weeks or so after I met her, she had made a statement that she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to go out with us. And I pressed a little bit, and it turned out that she was worried because she didn't have enough money. And so I said, well, I can lend you $100, and you can pay me back when you get paid. And she's an RN, so I figured she makes pretty good money. She can pay me back, at her next paycheck. Then the following week, the same type of scenario. So I gave her another $100 then. I said, you pay me back on your next payday. When her payday came around, which was October 4th, then she sent me text messages and says, please don't talk to me about this. I'm embarrassed, but I need about $1,000 to get my head above water because I wrote some hot checks before I left Texas. And so later that night I went over there and talked to her. I had the cash on me, so I gave her $1,000.
Well, what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
She explained that she was just behind and that her family was...
What behind in what, Mr. Piccone?
With the hot checks, and she said that nobody in her family...
Explain the hot checks. I'm sure that you asked her for more of an explanation than just hot checks.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't ask what the hot checks were for. I just took her word for it. She was a very nice person. I mean, I didn't have any reason to suspect her of, of lying or anything otherwise. I mean, I had always thought she was a really just an upfront, nice person.
Who are you?
I'm his cousin, and I went out with him that night, and I also... He asked me whether or not it was a good idea if he should loan this girl the money. And I told him that he knows her best. And
you mean you're talking about the $1,000?
Yes, the $1,000. And I told him he knows her best, and if he thought it was a good idea, you might as well go ahead and do it. And
do you remember when that was, sir?
The beginning of October.
When did Mr. Piccone go back to his wife?
Mr. Piccone went back to his wife towards the end of October.
When did you tell Miss Benson that you were going back to your wife?
I don't think I ever did. We had stopped communicating by the time that I ended up back with her.
Why?
Well, because she told me to F off in so many words on the text.
Why?
Because she came out to the club when my cousin and I were out and brought his girlfriend to try intentionally to set him up, just to catch him. She was really jealous, his ex-girlfriend. And so there was a fight that night. And
so you had an argument with her?
We had an argument, and then...
Okay. Okay, Ms. Benson, go ahead.
I had asked him, I said, I am having some financial problems. He was wondering why I was upset. I told him I needed around $1,000, and he gave me the $1,000, and I expected that it was a gift.
What kind of financial problems were you having, Ms. Benson?
Well,
You're a nurse, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Why should you have such terrible financial problems?
Because I help my family back home in Texas.
Oh, that's not a reason. That's baloney.
Well, it's the truth.
No. You don't borrow from strangers so you can help your family.
No, I didn't
Sorry.
borrow the $1,000 from him.
You don't take money from strangers so you can support your family back in Texas. What's wrong with your family?
I just have my grandmother. That's all I have.
So, if that's all you have, explain to me why you left Texas and your grandmother.
Because I got a traveling nurse position, which was supposed to help me make more money, and they were going to pay for my housing and everything. And so I thought it was an opportunity to get ahead. And so far, it's panning out, but...
But what?
I mean, so yes, now financially I'm okay.
Great, then you pay him back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
All right, Zach, excuse you may step out.
It's too bad that that we're not able to be friends anymore.
Mr. Perconi came up into my face and said some very vulgar things.
I told her from the beginning. I mean, not the first day.
I told him that was against my morals and that I wasn't going to break up a family.
As far as morals go, I mean, the first night that we met, she was over in my apartment.
That's when things went sour, when I wouldn't return his phone calls or return his text messages.
What morals are there? I mean, if you end up at some guy's house the first night you meet him.
People here are definitely not like people in Texas, that's for sure.
Guys?
Yes, case number 300 on the calendar in the matter of Lane versus Sandicock.
Thank you, Birch.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
The defendant was a former friend and roommate of both of you?
Yes.
Is that right? And it is your claim first that you sold him a car, that he didn't make all the payments on the car, you repossessed the car, then the police came to your house, arrested you both, and you spent 6 days in jail.
Yes.
And you want the money for the car, because I assume he has the car back?
Yes.
Next cause of action is you claim that he stole certain property.
Yes.
The defendant says that he actually owed you very little on the car because he did some work for you, and he's got a counterclaim for value of a computer, software, lost wages, and a whole bunch of pain and suffering. When did you sell him the car and for how much?
On June 25th of 2001, and we sold him, the original selling price was for $800. He gave us $400 in computer parts and $100 in cash.
So he owed you $300?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Then we agreed to finish paying for the rest of the car in 1 week. A month later, we came to Jeff and we asked him, can he, finish paying for the car? And if he wasn't going to finish paying for the car, we were going to repossess it, and he wasn't going to get reimbursed for the amount he already paid. Another month and a half after that came and went, and we came to Jeff again, and we told him, you broke the agreement that we had, and now we want to repossess it. Jeff then stated that the car was broken, that it wasn't even drivable. We said, fine, we're going to go fix the car and take it home. And that's when we went to go, and the car wasn't even broken, Your Honor. It had nothing wrong with it. We drove the car home, and the next morning, the police came because Jeff called the police and told him that we stole his car.
Was the car titled in your name at that point, sir?
No.
It was not?
No.
Whose name was the car titled?
I believe it was in the people they had bought it from. It had never been turned over into their name either because we were going to turn it straight into my name.
So you didn't have the title to the car?
Right.
And you didn't have a title to the car in your name?
I do have a bill of sale and the title that is listed for my wife's name on the title, Your Honor.
Let me see it. So you only had this car a couple of weeks before you sold it to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And you bought the car for $400?
Yes, ma'am.
You sold it to him for $800?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a pretty good profit.
Yes.
From your friend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
But when the police came to the house, Your Honor, they refused to look at any of the legal documents stating that the car was ours, and they threw us in jail. Me and my wife both spent 6 days in jail.
Why did you spend 6 days in jail?
Because Jeff had this thing against us.
What thing did he have against you?
About possession of stolen property for the car.
Well, I understand that, but didn't a lawyer come to see you while you were in jail?
No, Your Honor.
What state do you live in?
Washington.
Washington State?
Yes, ma'am.
Mark that off my list of places to visit.
You got it.
Yes.
Was this the first time you were arrested?
For this matter? No. No, ma'am. What happens is when you get arrested, right, you go in for arraignment the next day, and then you plead not guilty. And then they give you another court date a week after that, and then you go in and you plead not guilty again.
Yeah, but even on your... No. I mean, most civilized jurisdictions, before you go and appear before a judge, you're given a lawyer, and you say to the lawyer, look, I have the bill of sale. Please show that to a judge. That would happen on the very next day, unless they were detaining you on some other matter. Now, were you being detained on some other matter? Don't look at me like I'm speaking a foreign language, all right? You were being detained on another matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was me.
Perfect. Because what you have just described to me might happen in Afghanistan, but doesn't happen in the United States of America. Were you being held on a warrant?
Yes.
Perfect.
Does this mean Washington's back on your list?
Washington's back on my list.
All right.
Thank you, Bill. All right, so let's get rid of any pain and suffering that you had as a result of this 6-day incarceration. It wasn't 6 days incarceration on this. They just happened to find you because of this. Okay. You have the car. You owe him $300 for the car.
I actually owe him $260.
So why didn't you pay him?
I just honestly didn't have the money, but...
So why didn't you give him back the car? And they would have given you back the software, given you back your $100.
Up until this point, we were friends, and they had another vehicle. So, there was no real reason to. I was paying him in small payments. Actually, before they came and stole the car, I gave him $40, like 2 weeks before this happened.
Is that right?
That was on past bills, Your Honor. Bills because he didn't, on the last month that he lived with us, he didn't finish paying for his electric bill or his phone bill. And so we took this money for that.
No, that's not what I'm asking you, whether you took the money for that. Did he say, when he handed you the $40, did he say to you, this is for car payment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then you don't say, well, I'm not accepting this as a car payment. I'm going to put it towards your last month's bills. If he made the payment for the car, then he only owes you $260 for the car. So you agree you owe him $260 for the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me about what you claim he stole. You say he stole property.
Yes, Your Honor. On when we were released from jail, we got evicted from our apartment, and my mother, Pauline Hall, she had packed my things. And when I was released from jail, I went through my stuff and I noticed items missing. One being $200 worth of movie tickets, one being a basketball, and computer paper.
So?
And when I went and asked my mother, I said, did you remember packing this stuff? And she told me, yes, she did remember packing this stuff, plus she remembered seeing Jeff going through the things
after. Are you the mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please. What is your last name?
Hall, H-A-L-O.
You saw him take property?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you see him take, and when?
Okay, I asked him to move from my home because at this time he was living in my home.
You mean the defendant?
Yes, Jeff.
Yes.
And so I went to Jerry and Olga's apartment, and I was packing their things and bringing them into my garage as Jeff was moving his things out of my home. He was taking tables and chairs and basketballs and going through boxes. He had taken some food, that all of these things he said was his. Well, my daughter Janet told me not to let him do these things. And I said, I'm very tired. I just want to get these kids moved out of their apartment, and Jerry can deal with him on this matter later. About a week after this happened, Jeff and I had a phone conversation because Jeff had taken some things from my home that I wanted back. And he told me that he put $300 for the money that he had owed on the car in Jerry and Olga's checkings account. And I said, Jeff, that's a lie because they don't even have a checkings account. We closed that out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry and Olga Lane say former friend Jeff Sandercock owes for the cost of a car and stolen property. Jeff says the Lanes crossed the line when they tried to repossess the car.
Did you take a basketball that belongs to him?
I honestly don't know. I moved a lot of stuff in that 2 days.
Do you have a basketball that doesn't belong to you at home?
I don't think so, no.
How much was the basketball?
It was probably about worth $20, Your Honor.
You more than made that up on the car. Sit down. So far, you owe him $260. Now, you want to tell me about your counterclaim? Take a deep breath. I'm ready.
Well, first of all, I had given him $500 worth of computer stuff. And it was a computer and a fax machine, printer, scanner.
Whatever, it was towards the car.
It was just...
That was towards the car.
A ton of stuff.
I gave you credit for that, so we don't do double dipping here.
Right. But the reason why they took the car was because they had come over to the house when I was living with Pauline, and they had made mention of fleeing to Canada because his wife is an illegal immigrant. And they were thinking she was going to be deported for the electronic fraud that she had gone to jail for. So that's when they came and stole the car. And
I asked you a question. I'm on your counterclaim. Do you understand? You still owe $260 on the car. You agreed to pay $800. You didn't pay $800. You owe $260. You have a counterclaim. You say they took property. They owe you for computers, software, lost wages, and a whole bunch of pain and suffering. I'm waiting.
the software he had dropped about a week before this had happened. It was just a CD that I lent him, and he dropped it on the ground, and it scratched, and he said he was going to pay me for it. It was $80.
Next.
The day he stole the car, I was supposed to be at two clients' place, you know, because I work for myself, and I couldn't get there, so I had to call and I had to cancel. So,
oh, all right. Cry me a tear. Go ahead. What's next?
that was it. That was.
And that's your pain.
Right.
And your suffering.
I had to call, and I had to, you know, my name is on it. That's what they pay me for, is being dependable, and I couldn't be there.
Should have been there.
I couldn't. I didn't have a car. It was being stolen.
Call a cab. Call a taxi. Taxi. Or walk. You don't get paid for that. He owes you $260 for the car. Period.
Your Honor, about the matter about him losing wages, he was not in possession of the car.
Just 1 second. Listen to me carefully. I just dismissed it. I would like to dismiss him. He has no cause of action. He has no claim. Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes.
What?
First of all, I'm a legal resident. I'm not illegal resident of the United States. Then when he moved in with us, to live with us, I paid a deposit. He didn't pay his part. When he paid last money for the car, I said, this is for last bills. It's not for the car. This is for last bills.
Listen to me. You had the car for 2 weeks. You didn't even transfer the title to the car in your name. You made a $100 profit. That is a 20% profit. Is that right? 20% profit on what you, 25% profit on what you paid in 2 weeks. People could get that in the stock market these days. They would be very happy. Stop complaining. Goodbye.
He's not excused. You may step out.
The computer was worth way more than $500, you know, for all the hardware and stuff.
Numerous times we came to Jeff and said, hey, you know, for us to resume our our friendship, he needs to continue to pay for the car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morrison versus McKinney. Step forward, please.
31-year-old office manager Carla Morrison is suing her former friend, 27-year-old retail salesperson Corey McKinney, for an unpaid cell phone bill. Corey has a countersuit claiming Carla vandalized his car.
Miss Morrison, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends, and there came a time when each of you wanted a cell phone. I know what happened with an uncle of yours. He agreed to get the cell phones for you, but the defendant's agreement with you was that he would pay his portion of the cell phone bill.
That is correct.
You claimed that he ran up a substantial bill on the cell phone, which he has not paid.
That is correct.
Now, the defendant, I read your answer, sir. You don't seem to dispute the fact that you ran up a substantial phone bill.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
And how much was the phone bill that he ran up?
His cost came up to $1,000.
Can I see that, please? Over how many months did his bill run to accumulate this $1,000 total?
We initially got our phones in January. I believe I had Corey's phone disconnected towards the end of April, the beginning of May.
4 months.
Right, but his calls ran into like June and July.
Okay, so the bills are really in his name. This says total Nextel charges for Corey, right? On the bill it says for Corey.
I've never seen the bill.
Well, we'll show it to you. Actually, it's $1,007.37.
Correct.
Because you had a phone that allowed you to make as many local calls as you wanted, but not long-distance calls?
Right. Corey's charges are more long distance than anything.
Corey, who do you talk to so much, sir?
Talk to people everywhere.
Where are most of your
I
friends?
was out of town then. I was out of town then.
You were out of town?
Yeah. And I was calling back.
Your defense to this action is that you did spend the money on jabbering away long distance, but that the plaintiff did damage to your car.
Yeah.
And the damage to your car is more than your long distance calls, right? That's your defense.
Yes.
So, show me. What kind of damage did she do to your car?
Cut my tires and put sugar in my tank.
Did you witness her doing that?
No,
Never look
but
at me.
my witness, I have a witness here.
So the answer is you did not witness her
No.
doing that. But you have a witness who I'm
Yes.
prepared to hear. Step up, sir. Tell me your name.
Anthony McKinney.
Are you related?
Yeah, I'm his brother.
Now tell me what you observed on May 7th.
I was coming home from out playing basketball, and I seen her truck over there at the house when I was walking in the house. I really didn't see her really do it, but next morning I got up and he was outside going crazy. I was like, went over to see what was wrong. He said somebody had put sugar in my tank and cut the tires. I said, well, last night when I was coming home, I seen her over there and left the house. But I really didn't pay any attention to it because they were seeing each other off and on at the time, considering the phone bills and everything. So I
Sir,
really...
did you see her on May 7th?
I seen her the day before.
On May 6th?
May 7th. That day.
Where did you see her?
She came over to the house.
To visit with you?
Yes. He said he seen her that night.
Sit down. Sit down, sir. Well, tell me about the conversation that you had with her on May 7th.
She saw about the phone bill.
And what did you say to her about the
I
phone
told her I
bill?
wasn't going to pay the bill.
Did you tell her why?
But she had the phone turned off. I didn't even use it.
Well, she
I
had the
never did
phone-
see the bill. She never showed me the bill.
Now I'll hear you. You went over to his house on May the 7th?
I don't recall. I have talked to Corey numerous times on the phone, over our two-way radio pertaining to the bill. Corey has seen our Nextel bills. He left to go out of town. His thing was, I'll take care of it when I come back from Texas. Don't worry about it. Don't trip, Carla. You know, I'm not going to leave you out there like that. I'm going to pay the bill. I don't recall being at Corey's house on May 7th. It's a possibility, because I was at Corey's house plenty of times.
Did you slash his tires?
Of course not.
Did you put sugar in his gas tank?
Of course not. And me and Corey talked about this. He brought the damages up that I did to his car when I called him and asked him when was he going to pay his bill. And he said, I'm not. You had my phone shut off. I said, well, yeah, Corey, because the bill is at $1,300. He even called me when he was in Texas to say that I slashed his girlfriend's tires on her car as well. It's like, you know, Corey, I don't have time for this. I'm working 2 jobs. I don't have time to drive around town to look and vandalize Corey's vehicle.
Now, these phones, the bills were actually in your uncle's name?
The bill is in my uncle's name, but we are the sole responsible party.
I understand that, but the bills are in your uncle's name. If they were to sue somebody, they were going to sue your uncle.
Right.
Right? And your uncle knew that he was behind in the bills.
Right. He knew that he wasn't paying them.
But he wasn't paying them.
So where's our
There
uncle?
were other people, sir, who had a motive to do nasties to your car, right?
Yes, correct.
Those are only people that I know. Anybody else not like you, sir?
No.
You sure about that? Okay. You have
Where's our uncle at?
You have it, what?
Where's our uncle at? Shouldn't he be here?
No, why?
He signed for the phones.
So what? She's responsible because she promised her uncle that, despite the fact that the uncle signed for the phones, the two of you were going to be responsible. Duh. You still have the same girlfriend that you had in May?
No.
When did you break up with the May girlfriend?
In June.
In June? Well, June's pretty close to May. Had you been fighting with your girlfriend?
No.
You mean it just came on all of a sudden that you broke up with her?
Yeah. But this
There
happened
may
in-
be somebody else that didn't like you.
It happened in May.
And when were her tires?
We was on good terms then.
You were on really good terms.
Good terms.
Oh, good terms. Well, Mr. McKinney, we may never find out who put sugar in your tank, sir. But we sure know who made all these phone calls. That was you. Judgment for the plaintiff and the amount requested, $1,007.37. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just didn't think it was fair that he think he can run our phone bills up and don't pay for his calls.
I don't think it's right. I think she should pay for my truck, my $500 deductible back.
He didn't really have any drama with anyone, but, I mean, who knows?
I got a good witness that said he's seen her truck leave.
It wasn't me.
In the matter of Fennell versus Allman. Please have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Fennell, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that the defendant made a false charge against you to Child Protective Services and has been harassing you by interfering with the phone contact that you want to have with your former husband, sort of as a condition of putting your daughter on the phone.
Yes.
Ms. Allman says it is you that is harassing her and your former husband, and that she was at one point concerned about the child's welfare. She did, in fact, call Child Protective Services on one occasion, and she has a counterclaim. First of all, Ms. Fennell, the defendant is the fiancé of your former husband.
Right.
You and your former husband have one child.
Yes, we do.
That child has cerebral palsy?
She has mild cerebral palsy, yes, Your Honor.
How long were you married?
For 8 years.
And where did you live when you were married?
We lived in Florida.
You were divorced in the state of Florida?
Yes, we were.
Does your former husband have a visitation schedule that was fixed by the judgment of divorce?
No, he doesn't.
Is there a reason he does not?
I have no idea. He didn't ask for visitation for his daughter. He just asked for shared parental responsibility.
So you have shared custody?
I'm guessing, yes, Your Honor. She lives with me.
Yes. Do you have shared custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why I didn't ask for visitation, because he has shared custody. Now, you recently moved from the state of Florida to the state of Kentucky.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who lives in Kentucky?
My mom does.
Did you have court permission to move?
We weren't divorced at the time when we moved. I was told that
You were not divorced?
We were not divorced when I moved to Kentucky.
When did you move?
I moved to Kentucky last year at the end of October of last year. Our divorce wasn't finalized until May of this year.
How long had the matter been pending in court?
For 2 years.
So that the matter was pending when you relocated?
Well, I hadn't been served with...
That's not what I asked you. The matter was pending when you relocated?
Yes.
Did you give your husband any notice that you were moving to the state of Kentucky?
Yes, I did.
That's a lie,
When?
Your Honor.
Shh, don't speak. When did you give him notice?
I tried to call him 2 weeks prior to me moving because there was a hurricane. Hurricane Wilma came through. I was trying to contact him 2 weeks before I knew because I was told by his parents.
Listen! I asked you a simple question.
2 weeks before we moved.
You said you didn't get to him 2 weeks before you moved.
I couldn't get a hold of him.
So the answer is you did not notify him before you moved.
Right. I did not. Sorry, Your Honor.
Is that the answer? You did not notify him before you moved?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pinnell, I will tell you right now that if I were the family court judge hearing your relocation case, you would be back in Florida in a heartbeat. You have no right to take a child out of the jurisdiction and away from a parent when there is a pending divorce case without going before a judge and saying, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to relocate hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and I want your permission to do it. Now, I can understand from an emotional perspective, Kentucky is where your mother lives, why it's more comfortable for you to be there, why it may be even more comfortable and better for your daughter to be there. That is a judicial determination. Once you get married and have a child, you can by yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm telling you that right now. There was no excuse for that.
Sure.
Now, Miss Allman, let's start with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You called Child Protective Services. Do you remember when?
I actually have the report. It was June 22nd, 2006 at 9:18 a.m.
Can I see the report, please?
Yes, ma'am. I have it highlighted where
Just a minute.
DCF... I'm sorry.
I can read. It's the first prerequisite for this job. Ms. Pinnell.
Yes, ma'am.
You say that your child has cerebral palsy. When was she diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
She wasn't diagnosed until she was 6 years old.
Diagnosed when she was 6?
Yes, Your Honor. She's a very...
This report indicates that there was an allegation of medical neglect.
Yes.
Made by you.
Yes.
And this says, for the allegation of medical neglect, there are no findings to support this maltreatment. Medical records confirm that the child was seen by the doctor on February 3rd, 2005 and August 5th, 2005. There is no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy and does not need to take medication. Now, can you tell me why you haven't taken a child who suffers from cerebral palsy to a doctor in a year?
Actually, she's been to her pediatrician of this year.
Well, not according to this report. madam. I'm just telling you.
Well, I don't know what doctor she saw because I have a statement here from her current pediatrician, which she was seen on May 19th of this year.
Can I see that, please?
Stating that she was sent to orthopedics because she was complaining because my daughter gets muscle pains.
What's the name of your regular pediatrician?
That's the one that's in Kentucky. She sees him every 6 months.
Okay. You called June 22nd, 2006 from Naples, Florida.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the concern that you had, madam?
Because she was not taking the proper care of the child, because we were under the pretense of her saying that Alyssa has cerebral palsy when we found out that she does not have cerebral palsy, that it was just a...
How did you find out she doesn't have cerebral palsy?
The DCF report.
Okay. Do you have anything there that would support your statement that your daughter suffers from cerebral palsy?
No, I don't, Your Honor, because she has a very mild case of cerebral palsy.
You keep saying that she has a very mild case of cerebral palsy. All I want to see is something from a physician that indicates that she has cerebral palsy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If that's true, Mr. Pinnell, that's a serious problem that she has. There's a medical term for that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carleen Pinnell claims her ex-husband's fiancée, Stacy Allman, falsely accused her of child neglect. Stacy is countersuing for harassment.
Well, when was the last time she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
The last time she was diagnosed was when she was 6 years old. I can't remember the exact dates.
Where?
In Jacksonville, Florida, when my ex-husband was stationed in the Navy. And
you were together?
Yes, and he was present.
Step up.
With me.
Shh. Your last name is?
Pinnell, Your Honor.
Mr. Pinnell, time you were in the service and your daughter was 6 years old, were you present when your daughter was diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
I was off and on, Your Honor, because I was out to sea and I came back.
Were you ever advised by your then wife that the child had cerebral palsy?
She told me mild case of cerebral palsy, but I didn't see any documentation or anything from a doctor saying it was true.
What were the manifestations that she had of having cerebral palsy?
She said that...
No, that you saw.
Oh, that I saw? I didn't see anything. Legs would get weak, but that could be just average, just playing.
And what would you do for her if her legs got weak?
If we were walking, we'd stop walking and just relax for a little bit.
She would say she was tired?
Yeah, she was tired.
Okay. When was the last time you saw your daughter?
It was about over 3 years ago.
No, Your Honor. The last time he saw his daughter was a week before Easter in 2005.
Wrong.
Shh. Where?
I'm sorry, 2004, when she was staying at my mom's house.
That is a lie.
You know, your problem, Miss Allman, is that you have taken too much of an active role in something that has nothing to do with you. That's your problem. That's his responsibility. He's the father. You're not. You are, so far, nothing to this child. You're not even a stepmother to this child. You're nothing. And you have no stake. So I don't know whether Miss Pinnell is a nut or not. That's possible. She's his nut, not yours. I understand that she thinks that she's being protective of you, and she's going to set the ground rules because now this is her turf, right? You can't let that happen. This is the mother of your child, and if she's a nut, she's your nut.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's possible, because certainly if you have a child who has a very, very, very mild case of cerebral palsy, you make sure that that child is seen on a regular basis. And for the years that you lived in Florida, certainly, you would have had another diagnosis from a doctor in Florida that says the child suffers from mild case of cerebral palsy. And that's non-existent, because she doesn't have anything, and the state of Florida says there is absolutely no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy. So if that's true, Mr. Pinnell, if that's true, that's a serious problem that she has. There's a name for that, a medical term for that. Somebody who requires attention by making believe somebody else is sick as a way of getting attention for themselves, attention, sympathy, or whatever. I don't know if that's the case, but clearly, based upon this report, it's the case. But, Ms. Pinnell, there is absolutely no indication that she didn't have at least some basis to call Child Protective Services. So the first part of your case is dismissed with regard to false allegations to Child Protective Services, because Child Protective...
Your Honor, That's not the one that I'm talking about. The ones that I'm talking about is when there was one that was filed in 2005 in September and January 3rd when she had called saying that if Alyssa does not get medication, she could suffer seizures and or die. I mean, in here she stated that my daughter has to be on medication or she'll die.
Listen to me, madam. You've been telling people for the past at least 6 years that your daughter has cerebral palsy.
Yes.
And I'm not an expert. Certainly I'm not a person of medicine, and I don't know whether all children who have cerebral palsy take medication.
No,
or
they
should
don't,
take
Your Honor.
well, I don't know that. And you're not a doctor either. So,
But Your
if
Honor,
this has... Go ahead.
I also have an email stating from Miss Alleman that she's sitting there saying I refuse to get the medication she really needs.
So?
I mean, she's even sat there and said that my daughter's supposed to be on medication. My daughter's not supposed to be on medication. My daughter goes to a physical therapist twice a week for her outpatient therapy because she has a hard time writing because of her mild cerebral palsy. She's also in speech because of it.
Well, all I can tell you is this report from Child Protective Services says, I'm going to read it to you one more time.
I understand, Your Honor. But
there is no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy. Listen, if I had to put a child in all kinds of therapy for cerebral palsy and the state finds that the child does not have that disease, it's something that I would certainly look into. Anyway, your case is dismissed with regard to any calls that she made, even though she shouldn't have made them. That was you. You can't be a wuss, Mr. Pinnell.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't put that on to take care of the business of your family yourself. Right now, Miss Allman is not your family. Maybe one day you'll make her your family. Today's not the day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, as far as the harassment is concerned, let's talk about the harassment.
Okay, Your Honor. She has sent me numerous emails telling me to stop calling, you know, and just threatening to sue for custody, you know, and try to take my daughter away from me. Or
That's not harassment.
Well, I mean, in the emails, they're vulgar.
That's not harassment.
Okay.
To tell you to not call anymore, that she's going to try to take custody away, or they're going to try to take custody of your daughter away is not harassment.
I also have it on tape.
That's not harassment.
But, Your Honor, it is because, I mean, my daughter, the only time that I call is when my daughter wants to talk to her father.
Then let your daughter pick up the phone and call her father.
She's tried, and the message shows that every time that my daughter, she'll call her father, she refuses to answer the phone.
No,
and my
listen,
daughter leaves a
listen.
message, Your Honor.
Listen to me. My sense is, Miss Pinnell, that her father would like to speak to her. Her father doesn't want to speak to you.
I understand that. I have no problem
you
letting
have
him
to
talk.
pick. Then you should have picked a time before you moved to Kentucky without court permission for her father to speak to her.
Can you please just listen to the message, please?
Sure.
Okay. This is the first one.
You better knock your off, you stupid life. I need this in my life. We told you once before, leave us alone. Understand that? Leave us alone. Don't call me, don't do anything to me ever again. But a fat, ugly. Do you understand that? Leave me the phone.
Here's the second one.
11:22 a.m. Just for this, Paul will never speak to Alyssa ever again. And you will never, ever get a number to contact us ever again.
How many times had you called that day?
I had only called, my daughter had called on Father's Day to leave a message.
No. How many times had you called?
Just
She has
that
the
one
telephone records.
I have over a year's worth of phone bills to where Carlene has called constantly. I had to change my cell phone number twice.
How
my
many
home
times
number
a
once.
day?
There was one day where she called 50 times. I physically pulled the phone cord out of my wall because we didn't want to put up with it. It's when Paul calls to speak with with his daughter.
No, he's going to tell me that, not you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I've called I've called a lot of times, and she would answer the phone. I don't want to talk to her. I want to talk to my daughter. There was a while.
So when you call up on the phone and you say, "Is Alyssa there?"
Yeah.
What happens?
She would go into some speech of this, and this, and this. That's not what I wanted.
What do you do?
I wait a little while. She eventually puts Alyssa on the phone.
Okay. So,
So,
Mr. Pinnell, you know you have a problem. You know what your first problem is? Her.
Yeah.
Your first problem is her, Mr. Pinnell. She's interfering in your business. You have to lay the ground rules with your fiancé, and the court has to lay the ground rules with your former wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen to me. If he doesn't want to speak to you, Ms. Pinnell...
I have no problem letting him talk to his daughter.
Fine. Then let his daughter pick up the phone You have a cell phone?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And call him, her father, on his cell phone.
The only number that I have is her cell phone. I don't have his cell phone for
Well,
his
maybe he
daughter
doesn't want to
call.
give it to you because he thinks you're going to disturb him.
I have an email from Miss Alleman stating that when Paul wants to talk to his daughter, that she's going to be the one making the phone calls and that I'm to put his daughter on the phone so he can talk to his daughter.
So what's wrong with that?
I don't want her calling my house. That's the problem. Because any other time that she's called my house, she's been nasty to me.
Okay. What I've told you, Miss Allman, is, in my judgment, you have injected yourself into a circumstance that is none of your business. Mr. Pinnell has to take care of this problem on his own, and he should make it his business to see years old and would like to speak to her father. And if you can't figure out some way to do that, that's a very sad thing.
It is.
You're three people who are articulate, and the only one who's suffering because of your ego, because of your macho, because of your wanting to have a certain place in this family, and because of your lack of backbone, quite frankly, Mr. Pinnell. The only one who's suffering is an 11-year-old child who doesn't understand why she's not speaking to her father. She's hearing all kinds of things from her mother as to the effect that you can call whenever you want. She's not going to separate the two of you. She wants you to have contact. That's a lot of baloney. If she wanted you to have contact, she wouldn't have moved back to Kentucky
But
without
Your Honor,
telling you.
the reason why I moved back and why I moved to Kentucky was because of the harassment.
I doubt that, Mrs. Pinnell.
It's true, Your Honor.
Miss Pinnell, I doubt it. Now, Mr. Pinnell, do you have a court date with regard to this relocation?
No, I don't.
You're just as happy to let it go.
Yes, he is.
I gather you're just as happy to let it go. That's a shame, sir. That's avoiding your responsibility. You made a child, and you're supposed to make a child that feels as if both parents love her. It's a big mistake for you. Listen, I'm not going to resolve this, but this is not a case for small claims court. It's a case for the family court. I'm sorry that I can't resolve it. All I have to do is tell you this. What you complain about in your case is not actionable, and neither is what you complain about in your case. In any event, your cases are not actionable in the small claims court arena.
Your Honor,
and it's a shame. Listen to me. Forget money. It's not going to happen for either one of you. If you want me to resolve when you're going to make a phone call, I'll do that. You want me to resolve that?
Yes.
Fine.
I also have one other...
Fine. No. I don't want to hear you one more thing. Tuesday and Thursday, 7 o'clock in the evening, your daughter picks up the phone, or you pick up the phone and call her. Your daughter picks up the phone, not you.
Yes,
your
Your
daughter
Honor.
speaks to her father. Is that satisfactory? Tuesday and Thursday
Yes,
at 7
Your Honor.
o'clock?
He works until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
So
that's
what is the time that you
weekends.
don't work? Not you speak.
I'm sorry.
I don't want you to speak.
Sorry.
You don't get it. It's not your business. You're a stranger.
Your Honor, the weekends, Saturday or Sunday.
Fine. What time, Saturday or Sunday?
He can call anytime Saturday.
No, I want a time so that there's no
7
problem.
o'clock.
7 o'clock in the
7
evening.
o'clock is
Got
on-
it?
on
Yes, Your Honor.
Saturday.
Got it? That's in 2 days, sir. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your daughter is going to be waiting for your phone call. Do you have her phone number?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Then call it. If your daughter doesn't pick up the phone at 7 o'clock, that is evidence that she is trying to further frustrate your contact with the child. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
Your Honor.
Speak not.
But his daughter's here.
Would you like to see her?
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Just you, not her. Do you understand? Just you. We'll make arrangements. Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
That's all.
All right, excuse you may step out.
All that I wanted was my daughter to have a relationship with her father.
It's unfortunate that my daughter got stuck in the middle of it.
That's all that this was about.
She started the harassment first.
I'm hoping that he will want to see his daughter and have a relationship with his daughter.
He does want to have contact with the child.
This is case number 153 on the calendar in the matter of Howard versus Paul. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sirs, have seats.
Mr. Howard, according to your complaint, sir, you retained the defendant's services in making a video. You gave him a deposit of $5,000. You canceled the project, and you want your deposit back. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that he did a lot of work on your video. If you didn't want to continue, that's your problem. And he is counterclaiming because he alleges that you slandered him by making a false report to the police that he had threatened you. Is that right, sir? Let's hear about the video.
Your Honor, I'm a musician, and ever since I was a young boy, I kind of want...
Mr. Howard,
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
you understand?
All right.
Young boy, how old are you now?
40.
40? I don't have time.
Okay. All right.
Let's get to the video.
Okay, just in a nutshell, Your Honor, I wanted to do a music video. I went to a very prominent organization that referred me to him, and unbeknownst to me, she made a deal with him
where he would pay her $500 for the referral. And I contacted him, and I discovered that he had some very influential associations with a big-time entertainment company. So he said.
Just a minute. You discussed your video with him?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a music video?
Yes, ma'am.
You are a producer?
I own a company that produces productions.
What was the total fee?
It was $10,000. And he said that he was going to throw in freebies because this was his first music video. I brought my entire concept to him. I explained that I had my own scenes and everything that I wanted to do, and that all I needed was for him to film it.
$10,000 for the video. Did you sign a contract with him?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see the contract. This is a contract case. Okay. So you gave him a $5,000 deposit. You have that check, sir?
Yes, ma'am. But prior to signing the contract, we had negotiated for him to hold a check for me until I had a time to have an attorney friend review the contracts. He did not hold the checks. He cashed them prior to me signing the contract. And then when I called him, he was threatening me, talking about, you know, he spent all this time with me.
We'll get to that, sir. You signed the contract. You gave him a check.
Well, I gave him the check, and 2 weeks later, before I even signed the contract.
Can I please see copies of the checks?
Yes, ma'am. This is the first one. I cleared the very next day. And this is the one that cleared later, prior to me even being able to sign the contracts.
You signed the contracts on the 12th of March.
Yes, ma'am.
One check is dated March 7th. They're both dated March 7th. Explain that to me.
He kept pressuring me, telling me I was wasting his time, and he so pressured me and bullied me into doing it. I said, well, just to show you that I'm serious about considering to do the video, here is $2,500. Please hold this until I can have someone review the contract.
That's not the way you do business, sir, so I'm not paying any attention to that. If you sign a contract, you sign a contract. Now, what I want to know is, when you cancel this contract?
Right after the threat.
Well, what date was that?
That was 2 weeks after the threat, because I didn't know what to do.
Give me a date.
April 7th.
So about a month. Now, during the course of that month, did you have meetings with Mr. Paul?
We had meetings prior to the threat, and this was in an effort to...
I'm not getting to the threat yet, sir. The threat has to do with...
Yes, ma'am. We had a lot of meetings.
All right. I assume, Mr. Paul, that you did not do any work prior to the contract being signed.
Actually, we did do work prior to the contract, discussing about creatives, because we don't begin doing creatives unless we have a deposit.
Right. Well, you can discuss it all you like, but prior to signing a contract, it's all just a pitch. Right?
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
All right. I want to know, between the 12th of March, at the time that he signed the contract, and the 7th of April, I want to know approximately how much time you spent with him.
67 hours, phone calls just about every single evening, excluding one weekend when I went to visit my folks.
Now, you say 67 hours. Do you have that documented anywhere? Because that's a pretty precise number.
Whenever I have a meeting with somebody, I just document down that time for that. It's just standard business practice.
Okay.
And because he required so much time, more than even the large clients that I have.
That is not true, Your Honor.
Can I finish? I had to cancel other productions because obviously if someone pays a deposit to do a production, they're priority over new business coming in. So it was to my best interest to get this done the way he wanted it to, under the budget and conditions that state. He didn't understand the fact that the more things you use in a production, the more time it takes, the more money it costs.
That's not true, Your Honor. He would always delete it, take everything out that I was presenting, and that, moreover, with the threats is why I wanted to just be done with it. Because I was paying him, it's very emotional for me, Your Honor, because I'm trying to do this for my mother before she passes. And he rejected everything. I was paying him to do my ideas. And he didn't want that. He wanted to do his ideas.
Mr. Howard, what you do usually before you retain a company that you don't know much about, you have a lot of preliminary meetings with them and you make a decision as to whether or not this is a company that you want to use before you sign the contract.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I asked him what he would do if I withdrew from the contract because I was afraid of him.
Yes.
And he said he would put a gun to my head.
If you're going to lie, think of something a little bit more unbelievable.
And later today,
What was the agreement then?
That they would pay us $500 a month for the material.
After they moved in?
After they moved in.
They
and
never
then-
moved in.
No, they didn't. So,
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Grafton Howard says production company owner James Paul owes for a refund of the money he spent to make a music video.
Tell me about the threat, sir, that you allege he made to you and when it was.
Every time I found out that he was not doing what I was asking him to do, I would call and ask, why are you deleting everything you promised me? He would just go ballistic. He would curse me out on the phone. He would just say, you know, you're the stupidest person. I'm trying to do this and that. And I would like, why are you cursing at me? I'm your client. And he'd just go off at me.
So let me hear, could I hear about the threat, please?
We went to a well-known restaurant. After a meeting that I had this gentleman a witness to, he witnessed his demeanor. After he would go up, blow up.
I would like to hear the threat, sir.
Okay, ma'am, I asked him what he would do if I withdrew from the contract because I was afraid of him.
Yes.
And he said he would put a gun to my head. And then he said he would put the gun on himself and tell God it was because I didn't do the production. And that's the reason why I didn't do
Yes,
this.
sir. Go ahead.
I'm sorry I have to laugh because I don't threaten people's life. And to be honest with you, I have a police report here. He's contradicted himself.
Let me see the police report, please.
He filed to the police department 2 weeks after I supposedly did this act. And then he also states in the police report that after I supposedly threatened his life, he stayed and ate dinner with me the rest of the evening?
Just a second.
I mean, if you're going to lie, think of something a little bit more believable.
And, Your Honor, he would go off about $2 parking. This gentleman can witness to the fact that he was having a ballistic fit over $2 parking. And, Your Honor, I would like to see if I'm sorry.
Is this the basis of your counterclaim, sir? The police came and talked to you?
No, it's not.
Well, what's the basis of your counterclaim?
The basis of the countersuit is this studio that he so-called mentioned fictitious. I brought him, you know, basically the contacts, I introduced the contacts to him. And these are big contacts that took a lot of time for me to get that generate referrals.
Yeah.
He called these people up and sent documents that I threatened to kill him and all this. And actually, one of them says, Jim, you know what? Let's let this thing melt down, and I'll give you some business in a couple of months. He's killing my business.
That's hearsay.
It's also...
That's hearsay.
Okay.
Stop playing with your papers.
Okay.
I felt bad for him in the beginning. After he signed the contract, I felt bad. He told me he got screwed over by a well-known person I cannot mention, and he lived in a shack and had an outhouse and all this. And I said, Grafton, just cancel it. Take your money back before I incur cost.
Oh, Lord.
And leave it alone.
That's not true, Your Honor.
This is the very, very beginning.
Mr. Howard,
This is,
am I looking in your direction now?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't speak unless I look in your direction.
Yes, ma'am.
this is before we incurred any expense and time and effort and work. And this has cost me a lot more than my countersuit. I normally do about 5 to 6 commercials a month. When Grafton signed on, I did 2 that month. And I'm very consistent with the business. Obviously, it's hearsay, you're right, but...
It's a very simple case, sir. Your counterclaim is dismissed because there is no evidence. You, sir, are not entitled to your money back. You're not entitled to your money back because you signed the contract and the defendant did work in the furtherance of that contract. If you were dissatisfied, Am I asking for you to say anything?
He witnessed everything, Your Honor.
I don't care what he witnessed.
He
I believe
witnessed
everything you...
threats.
Listen to me. I believe everything you told me. I didn't need a witness to corroborate what you're telling me. You showed me a check. You showed me the contract. You told me how long you worked together, that he wasn't doing the kind of job that you wanted. You knew enough to say to him, I want a lawyer to look at the contract. You just did it in the wrong order, which is stupid. However, he spent, and I believe him, that he spent 60-some-odd hours talking to you on the phone, meeting with you after work, meeting with you during work, meeting with you in the evening, and you couldn't come to a creative understanding. That doesn't mean he's supposed to do that for nothing. Your case is dismissed. That's all. So is your counterclaim.
All is excused. You may step out.
I have nothing negative to say. I just wish he would understand how business is run.
I understand production. I understand that when you hire somebody to do a job and you already have your own concept, they're supposed to do it.
I told him what he was getting for his money, and I was very specific, and I explained everything, and I had to explain everything maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 different times.
He was having me wanted me to sign off on my creative to get my money back. He wanted my concept, and that's what it was. He's not creative. He doesn't know what he's doing.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nason versus Greenman Champagne. Step forward, please.
Student Jennifer Nason and her husband Todd are suing Jennifer's sister, 21-year-old daycare provider Neela Champagne, and her husband Kenneth Greenman. The Nasons claim the couple owes for money spent to remodel their home.
Miss Nason, according to what I've read here, your sister and her husband were having a little bit of a tough time, and you offered to let them move into your home, a portion of your home that was to be remodeled. And you said, listen, this is the deal. You pay for the remodeling. Once the remodeling is done, you give us $500 a month. Once it's all paid off, you don't have to pay us any rent. You can live rent-free.
Correct.
That's what you say. The remodeling started. The two husbands didn't get along with each other. They had some words. Your sister and her husband decided not to move in, and you think that they should pay you for all the materials that you invested in to do this remodeling, which is a couple of $1,000s. Your sister and her husband say that there was never an agreement to pay for the remodeling. There was an agreement for them to pay rent, $500 a month, once they moved in. Where were they supposed to live? What part of your house was going to be remodeled?
We have a little room that is adjacent to our one-car garage that we have.
How big?
30 by 50.
It was going to end up being a 2-bedroom, a kitchenette, a dining room, and a living room, all open floor plan.
Let me see pictures of how far you got in this alteration.
We don't have any photographs because we only started putting down the floor, and it looks basically the same way that it was when we started, because we didn't get anywhere with it because they ended up not moving in. So we didn't end up taking any pictures of it, truthfully.
Why do you think they're responsible for the materials that you purchased?
Well, we were doing this for them because they needed a place to live. It was a verbal agreement that they would pay us $500 a month for the material.
After they moved in?
After they moved in.
They never moved in?
No, they didn't ever move in by their own accord.
But they never moved in?
No, they didn't. Because they decided not to move in. So
You didn't expect them to move in if the two guys weren't getting along. What was the problem?
We were getting along.
Two guys were not getting along. What happened?
We get along fine, as far as I'm concerned, Your Honor.
What happened?
He wouldn't help out at all on anything that we did do in the thing. When he did come over, he'd just stand there, just pick up a couple screws. He wasn't capable of doing anything. For instance, he was taking rocks, throwing me in a dumpster that you pay by weight. And I called him up and asked him to take them rocks out so he wouldn't have to pay so much. He was too busy to come over.
So you were annoyed?
I was annoyed, yes.
So, in case you didn't know it, the men didn't get along.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that until just now?
Yes.
What do you know? You see, you learn revelations every day. Now, what was your interpretation of your arrangement with your sister?
Well, what happened was, originally we had discussed, redoing the apartment, and Todd said, we'll do it, and you just pay us back what you can for rent. And I said, okay, so we went home, we discussed it. I called my sister back. I said, well, as far as what we were looking for in an apartment, to rent your place, we'd pay $500 a month. So then he said, okay, everything started. Probably a couple of days after that had happened, I called her back up. I was like, listen, Jen, we're not going to be able to afford to pay you the $500 right now because Kenny's check from the reserves hasn't come in yet. She said, that's fine. She said, because after all, you're not going to start paying until you move in. And I said, okay, so that's when things went on. Then there was a couple of arguments between my husband and her husband, and then we had taken my 2 nieces.
You mean your 2 nieces?
Her 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Yes. And There was a miscommunication on the way home.
Well, explain that to me.
We had gone up on one day to visit with my brother. So we thought as a favor, because we thought they went the same way that we did, we'd meet them at the end of the Mass Pike and we'd just switch off there.
So you're going to give them back their daughters?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what happened was we went down 95 completely. They went up a different way. Then we get a call, and they wanted us to bring the girls all the way back up, which would have probably brought us about an hour and a half out of our way. So, of course, we got into an argument, me and my sister. So Todd in the background was saying that he was going to beat us both up and that he was going to kill us both if we did not go all the way up. And at that point was when we decided that I wasn't going to put my son in a situation where someone is that violent over something that little.
Okay, first of all, that is exactly how it did not happen. First of all,
listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
It doesn't make any difference what the fight was about. It is enough that the two of you and the husbands were not getting along. Was there a contract for them to pay for the renovation on your house? Unless you have that contract in writing, you have no contract.
Why did they start paying?
They
why
started
did they...
paying us for the material.
I have no idea why they started paying. It is stupid for anyone to pay for the renovation in somebody else's house. It would be smart for you to say, look, once we move in, which is what you testify to, once we move in, we will start to pay $500 a month until, which is what you told me, until the cost of the renovation is paid. But that presupposes that they move in. They didn't move in.
That was
and why should she pay for materials that she's never going to enjoy? That's stupid. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nobody's going to be forced to live with people that they don't want to live with because they're, they don't think it's safe enough.
She had said it to me that she was going to kill me at times, and did I take it like they were going to literally kill us? No.
I thought the entire thing was ridiculous.
She's no longer my sister, and she's no longer an aunt to my two kids.
The only thing it's going to hurt are my two nieces. My mother, my father can't even see their granddaughters because she decided to make this out to be something much bigger than what it was.
Now, this is case number 345 on the calendar in the matter of Butler versus Yandell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Butler, you and your family and the defendant and her family used to be neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
While you were neighbors, it is your claim that the defendant harassed and defamed both your family and your son.
And assault.
And assault. And you want to be compensated. The defendant says that after a series of drive-by shootings, she contacted the police. And after she contacted the police, you harassed her, assaulted her, and caused some damage to her property. How long had you been neighbors?
Possibly 4 years. I've been living in my residence for 4 years now.
How long were you living in the neighborhood?
I moved in there January of 1999, and he moved in there probably a year following.
A year after? You were there first?
Yes, ma'am.
So you weren't there for 4 years?
Possibly 4 years, July of 99.
July of 99 is not 4 years. She was there first?
Yes.
Okay. How many people in your family?
Family of 5.
You?
My wife and 3 kids.
How old are your children?
Son is 15. Another daughter is 13. Greenwich is 12.
Okay. Before this incident, had you had any difficulty with each other?
No.
Gotten along okay?
Well, we just never was around each other to get along or not get along. I just, I knew the type of person people they were, so I just kind of stayed my distance.
I'd like to speak on that. Basically, I would walk up and down the street to get my daughter from the bus stop from school, and he would always be outside with a bunch of people. This was a daily thing. He used to say hi to me. I used to say hi to him, too. As for him saying the type of person I was...
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
You said hi, so there were no problems.
No.
No problems, ma'am.
What happened in September of 2001? Because I assume that that's what precipitated this problem.
On September 20th, at about 2 o'clock...
in the afternoon?
Yes. Ralph came to my door, knocking at the door, says, I want to talk to Rod, which is my fiance. And then I said, okay, and then I went and got him. He came to the door. He goes, I want to talk to you, not your wife. He was like really, really like, I could tell something was wrong. And so he stepped to the door, and then he went outside and he closed the door behind him. So I was inside and I was listening from the inside, and I could hear him yelling and getting really loud and rude with Rod, saying that your wife turned my stepson into the police saying he's selling drugs out of my house. And then when he said that, then I opened the door and I told him, you know, Ralph, you need to get your story straight before you come down here threatening me. I said, none of that is true.
There had been a problem in the neighborhood with some shootings?
Yes. What happened with that was right across the street from his house, there was a lot of drug members hanging out selling drugs, and there was a lot of drive-bys that started occurring, and this was about 8 months ago.
Well, that had nothing to do with him. This was across the street from his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what happened was right, like side to side, on the same sidewalk area, my son was at the park in the sandbox. The first drive-by was about like 12 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. And my son was out there when this happened. And my daughter comes running inside the house telling me, Mommy, they're shooting out there. And then I came out there, and then my son was laying down in the sand because he was scared, you know. He didn't want to get shot. And so then after that, there was about 3 or 4 more shootings within like a 2 weeks time period. There was 3 within 3 days. So every time that the police would come to check out the area, all these guys would run into the back of the carports, which lead into the back doors of the townhouses across the street from his house. So what I did was, my fiance and I, we walked down to speak to the officers. And we asked them if we could speak to them privately so we could kind of give them a feel out of who these people were to try and get this stuff resolved. So what happened from there was, when he came to my door that day on September 20th, he says, I'm not a punk B. You're not going to get away with this, you snitch. And he goes, the only reason you're saying anything to me right now is because Rod, which is my fiance, and my best friend Jeff, we were all there together. And he goes, that's why you're only saying anything. He goes, but you wait until you go walking down the street to get your daughter, you're going to get yours. And then he goes, snitches don't live long. And he takes off down the street really mad. Then he comes back about 5 minutes later with another guy that is a known drug dealer over there. He comes back up and he goes, you mother effers, snitches get stitches and they don't live long. And then the police showed up. And then they took my police report, which I have right here, and I stated everything that he said to me when he came to my door, that he threatened me.
I'd like to see them, please, Bird. What made you believe, sir, that the defendant had accused your son of doing anything?
Yeah, because, Judge, she was stopping the little kids in the neighborhood, asking the kids what was going on down under the tree down in there. She was spreading rumors to the little kids, harassing the kids, saying that me and my son was selling drugs.
Ma'am, that's not true.
No. I don't think that that's true, sir.
Well, that's true.
No, I don't think that that's true. She may have been inquiring about what was going on
And she's
there.
up here babbling about drive-bys and whatever. I wasn't in none of those cars. I'm no drug dealer. You know, I haven't shot at nobody.
She
I haven't
never
ran in nobody's house.
accused you, from what she says, and I believe her. She never accused you of doing anything. She said that the drugs were being sold from a location across the street from your house.
Well, Judge, it says right there in her claim, it says that I'm a violent drug dealer, and I threatened her life. That wasn't said.
If you'd like me to speak on that, I would love to.
Sure.
Okay, the fact of him selling drugs, I have a lady friend that walks through the neighborhood going down the street to the local store.
Did she buy some drugs from me?
Excuse me.
Did she buy drugs from me?
Mr. Butler, don't speak yet. You'll get a chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, the lady's husband would always come by, and he was like a real skinny drug addict. He would walk by to his house, come in, be there for like maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then split, be gone. And this man was continually going there, getting whatever he had to do.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ralph Butler says his former neighbor, Karina Yandel, has accused him of being a drug dealer and on a separate occasion assaulted him with pepper spray. Karina denies making false accusations and claims the pepper spray was in self-defense.
Let's go back a moment. So he's outside talking to your fiancé, Rob. You hear him make these comments about snitches get stitches.
Yes.
You call the police and make a report. What happened after the police report?
The next day, my friend, which is my witness, Vicky Burciaga, she came over, and we were going to go walking down the street around the corner.
By my house.
Yes, by his house. I walked on the other side of the street, but before I did that, I told her the situation, and I told her that he threatened, really violent threats. So what I did was I had her carry some pepper spray, and I carried pepper spray. And I'm not going to lie about it. I had her carry a bat, which was out of sight, in case he approached me, which, in good thing, I did that. So we went to lunch. We went around the corner, had some Chinese food. He wasn't outside when I walked by the first time, on the other side of the street. So then when I come back by, he's sitting outside on his ice chest.
Now, when you walked back from lunch, were you walking back from lunch on the other side of the street?
Other side of the street, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, that's a lie.
Mom,
That's a lie.
I mean,
Just a minute.
excuse
We're
me,
going to come
Judge
back
Judy.
in a second. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, I was on the other side of the street, and before I even got anywhere in front of his house, he seen me coming, and he started going off, just cussing and calling me all kinds of names. You better not come near me, I'll kill you, and just really like trying to be verbal. There was that teenage boy standing next to him. He says to the kid, go get Pam, which is about 2 or 3 houses from his house. Well, Pam steps outside, and she says, why are you threatening us with mace and a bat and asking all the little kids around here who's selling drugs? And I said, you know what, Pam? I said, Pam, that isn't true. And I said, what happened was Ralph came down and threatened to kill me yesterday. And right at that time, Ralph picked up this wooden table I have a picture of, and he picked it up above his head like this, and he called me a white Ku Klux Klan Nazi FMB. And he went like this to throw it at me. And right when he did that, I maced him as much as I could. And I turned around and started running.
So you maced him?
So I maced him, and when he threw that table, the table hit me lightly right here as I was turning to run. And then I started running, and I looked back, and he was coming, and he picks up this metal chair right here. He picks up this metal chair to throw at me, and I remember screaming, no, Ralph, and I kept running, and I fell down. And then I got back up, and I also had my dog on a leash with me.
That's how she got your scars, Yoda.
Just a minute. You took your dog in to eat Chinese food?
No, he stayed outside. There's a tree like in the parking lot, and I had him on his leash, and he was tied to the
You
tree.
left your dog tied on a tree while you went in and had lunch?
Yeah. Well, if you've seen the area, you'd
She
understand.
premeditated. It's premeditated, Yoda. She had, in fact, wanted to come down there and pepper spray me at that time.
Mr. Butler, I'm going to come back to you. I guarantee you.
Your
She's
Honor.
just
I'm just asking
lying,
some
lying.
questions. Mr. Butler.
Yes. I'll be good. I'm cool.
Your Honor, to tell you the truth, this neighborhood is known as the ghetto. To tell you the
I don't
truth.
care what it's known as.
So
I
that's
just wanna
why
know
I
you
took my
left your
dog
dog
to
tied to a tree while you went inside and had lunch.
Because he goes everywhere with me. And plus the fact that, you know, in case anything happened
All
to
right,
me,
so
you know,
you
some
walked
sort of
down the
security.
street, you had your dog in your arms, he picked up something, he yelled, Ralph, don't do that,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then
what
I made
happened?
it to my house, and I called 911, and the police arrived about 30 minutes later.
So that's the assault you're talking about in your counterclaim?
Yeah.
Now, the assault you're talking about in your claim, just pay attention, you're not listening, Mr. Butler. The assault you're talking about is being maced.
Yes.
Do either of you have any medical bills as a result of these 2 assaults?
No, it was just washing my eyes out at the hospital, going through all the drama, you know, just basically trying to hold my head up after letting this lady do something like that to me, you know.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to tell me, Mr. Butler, she's coming down the street with her friend.
Yes.
And when you first saw her, on which side of the street was she? Your side of the street or the other
she walked
side?
right by my house, just like it was a thing to do.
In front of your house?
In front of my house, it wasn't even 5 feet, you know, it was just right there.
Okay, and you're sitting outside?
Yes. Well, at that point, Karina
She's walking by?
Walked by, she went to the store. She must have stayed at the store about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. She came back by, and at that time, I was sitting on the porch. She crossed the street and walked right in front of me. And I can't say what she told me, but she gave me a unpleasant gesture and told me I was lying. That's what she called me. That's her favorite word when she get mad.
That's not true.
So she walks over next door and knocked on the door. So she's trying to clarify and make them think that, oh, I'm lying about her calling all us. But as soon as, well, that's what she
Right
said.
now, you're on your porch.
Yeah.
And she's not on your porch.
She's not on my porch.
When did you come off your porch?
When she started pointing at me, cussing me out, I came off my porch and walked over across it.
Where did you walk across to?
Right next door to my house. And
So you walked up to her?
no, I didn't walk up to her. The lady, my neighbor, was standing right here. She maybe be standing on this side over here. I was talking to Pam, and they arguing back and forth. And next thing I know, this lady said, "You know what?" And shh, they started spraying me. And yes, I did pick up a table, quite big table, and my intention was to bust her in the head with it, but I couldn't see. I was blinded by the pepper spray. I could not see. If I could have seen, I would have continued that. You know, that's self-defense in my book. When you leave your house with a baseball bat, a dog, and some pepper spray, that's premeditated. I didn't do anything to this lady to make her want to do that.
Considering that the day before you had had somewhat of a confrontation with the plaintiff, why did you choose to arm yourself with a bat and 2 things of pepper spray and walk right by his house, not once, but twice?
Premeditated.
Hey! Do I look like I need your help?
No.
Explain that to me.
Okay, ma'am. The simple fact why I did was because my daughter, she always comes right at the end of our street right here to the bus stop. The fact
You weren't going to pick up your daughter, you were going to eat Chinese food.
I know that. But if I wasn't going to eat the Chinese food, I would have been walking down there to pick up my daughter from the bus stop anyways.
Listen, one thing is necessary to go and pick up your child, and one thing is choice.
Yeah, I made the choice. Maybe I made the wrong choice, but...
You sure did. And you anticipated trouble. First of all, Mr. Butler, you were wrong to go down to her house and have this confrontation with either her or her fiancé or her husband or whoever it was, because I don't think you had all your facts straight. Yeah. Now, from what I gather, she was trying to find out so that she could tell the police who was selling drugs on her block so that she would be safe from these shootings that were happening. Because that's why...
I would like to be safe, too.
Just a minute. And my sense is she was asking around children in the neighborhood, what do you know about drugs being sold and from where? You told me that. She was asking, which, you know, is kind of gutsy. Most people, when they're faced with that kind of situation, they don't ask any questions. They say, I better stay in my house and keep my doors locked. But you got annoyed that she was poking her nose around, which was the wrong thing to do on your part. She wasn't doing
But I didn't break
anything.
any laws. She did when she pepper sprayed me.
Just a second. That's not true, sir. If you went up to her house and said, snitches get stitches, that is breaking the law.
That's not what I said, Your Honor.
I would like you to tell me, Mr. Butler, and think very carefully, sir. What did you say to her fiancé when you came to the house that afternoon in September?
I was attempting to talk to him like man to man.
No, don't attempt to. What did you say to him?
I asked him why is his wife going around spreading rumors like that about what we're doing down there in my house. She said that we were selling drugs. I asked him why she's going around spreading those rumors.
Who had told you that she said you were selling drugs out of your house?
The kids in the neighborhood. She was stopping them, asking them was I selling drugs down at my residence.
So she was asking them. She wasn't telling them. Okay, so you asked them, and then what happened?
And me and him didn't get a chance to finish the conversation because it took both her husband and her friend or whatever to hold her. She was going to attack me, calling me. She said she's tired of living around all you drug dealing, and she wished we all just move. I said, well, if you have a problem with black folks, why are you still living in the neighborhood? You know, I said, somebody holding you? And I left. I turned around and walked off. I was this, that, and he couldn't do nothing with her. He trying to hold her to keep her in the house. She was physically trying to attack me.
That's not true.
You know?
Okay, let me stop. I think that you made a mistake, Mr. Butler, when you went down to the house and tried to confront people without getting all the facts. If you believe that the defendant is a hothead, I certainly would have made other arrangements to speak to the fiancé. But
that's what
I think that she certainly has the right, living on that block, to go around and ask a lot of questions to find out who's selling drugs in that neighborhood, which is causing an element to come onto that block, which is endangering everybody, including children. That's not accusing you. That's asking a question. If you don't like the question, that's too bad. But she has absolutely no right to arm herself and her friend with mace and a baseball bat, and the day after this confrontation, go walk down your block. Well, she said she was carrying a dog. Couldn't have been a huge dog.
You big enough to bite?
How big a dog?
A dog, he had 50-some teeth in his mouth, big enough to bite, you know?
How big a dog?
A dog. It's not, you know, it's not no poodle, he was a dog.
Not a poodle?
No.
Okay, I find that you put yourself in harm's way by being stupid enough right after this altercation to walk by, arm yourself, looking for trouble, go out to eat, come back in the same direction, pass by his house, cross over to his side of the street. I mean, you're just looking for trouble. And you found it. You looked for trouble and you found it. You started...
Might add one thing?
No, does it sound like you're losing?
Well, no, I just want to say one word.
No.
Huh?
I talk.
Okay.
Do you allow your wife to talk?
Yeah, I don't control my wife. She does what she pretty much wants.
Yeah, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. You had no right
I know.
to spray him in the face. He has to be compensated for that civilly if that's what he wants. Now,
That's
some
what
of
I
that
want.
has to be mitigated because, Mr. Butler, I believe that you got a little hot under the collar.
Yeah, but can I explain one thing to you?
I don't want you to explain anything to me. I want you to listen.
Yeah.
You got hot under the collar.
Very hot.
Right.
Yes.
Before you got sprayed with the mace.
No.
Sure you did. You were hot when you came down there to talk to her friend.
But I didn't go to her residence. She came to mine.
No. No. She didn't, Mr. Butler. You were sitting on your porch when she walked by. You went over towards Pam's house, where she was, and the two of you started talking. Now, your wife is sitting there, and she looks like a very nice lady, and she's nodding her head up and down. You got hot. That doesn't excuse getting maced in the face. Doesn't excuse that at all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You're going to stand in front of the 90% black neighborhood and call everybody. You expect to get what you got coming to you.
Ralph, you didn't deserve what you got.
Then you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Casno, facts of the case are relatively simple and not in dispute. What kind of car do you own?
Wasn't his a 2006 BMW 325i?
And you brought it to the defendant's shop for the purposes of doing some repairs.
Correct. The vehicle had been vandalized and needed body work.
Brought it to Mr. Salinas' shop and you left it there. On what date did you leave it there?
The 20th of March 2010 at about 8:15 in the morning.
Is that correct so far, Mr. Salinas?
That's correct.
Then your car was involved in a hit and run.
Yes, Your Honor.
On what date?
The same day.
Do you know what time?
I'm going to say roughly 7:30, Your Honor. I wasn't there. So.
In the evening?
In the evening.
How were you notified that your car was involved with a hit and run?
Well, my wife and I were at home and heard a loud knock at our front door. Looked out and there was a Los Angeles Sheriff's deputy at the door. He demanded to know my name and where my car was, and I subsequently learned that the vehicle had been involved in a hit-and-run accident.
Do you know what kind of a hit and run?
Again, I'm getting this...
Involving a pedestrian and another car?
No, it was another vehicle, Your Honor. I have the driver of that other vehicle in court with me.
Stand up, please. Tell me your name.
Stephanie Delgado.
You were involved in an accident on the 20th of March?
Yes, I was the other driver that hit the BMW.
You hit the BMW?
Well, he was making an unsafe left turn, and I was going straight on Sepulveda. And I guess he was going to get into a car accident with the car in the right lane, but he stepped on, well, he was trying to step on the brake, and once I viewed the whole scene, I tried stopping, but I couldn't. I hit the car, stepped out of the vehicle to check if the other driver was fine. Once I approached the vehicle, it was like gonna flee the scene. So I approached it and it took off with me. So
what do you mean it took off with you?
Like it dragged me.
Car dragged you?
Yes.
How far?
Like less than a block, like around the corner, kind of.
Were you injured?
Yeah, both knees. I had a back contusion, hip contusion, my ankles. I have pictures if you want to see them.
There are also photos of her vehicle.
To my vehicle.
I'd like to see that. Did you see the driver of the car?
Yes, it was a Hispanic driver, and small world, a friend of mine is actually cousins with the driver.
You know the driver's name?
I gave the whole information to my detective that was taking care of my case. So
Did they arrest the driver?
No, they were never capable of finding the driver. I actually have a sheet that states that they were never capable of finding who was a real driver or any information based on the driver.
But you knew who it was, or somebody you knew?
Yes, because my friend had approached me and she told me so.
You can't tell her what anybody told you. Okay. And Mr. Salinas, there was lots of damage done to the plaintiff's BMW. Thank you. You can sit down now. You say it's not your responsibility to hear that. You own the body shop that accepted his car.
Right.
Somehow, his car got off your lot and was involved in an accident.
Right. That's
so
correct.
it was being driven in an unauthorized manner.
Yes.
You explain to me why that's not your fault.
First of all, the vehicle, when this guy took the vehicle, I was not in the shop.
I don't care whether you were in the shop or if you're on Mars.
Well, this guy, he doesn't work for me.
I don't care whether he doesn't work for you either.
The only problem that I see right here, it was my
I don't care
not
what you
having
see.
Insurance.
Listen to me. I don't care what you see. You own
a body
shop.
Right.
You accepted his car for the purpose of repairing it, which is what your body shop is for.
Right.
Once you take his car into your shop, you are responsible for it. Now, I assume you have insurance. In this case, someone got the keys to his car.
Right.
That's as a result of your negligence, either yours or one of your employees.
He was not my employee.
Just a second. Somehow, Mr. Salinas, I believe, sir, that you're confused, and I'm trying to explain it to you. But you're going to have to do something that God really was gifted about. He gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Right.
So I want you to put on your 2 ears and listen with your 2 ears. One way or another, either because you gave someone the car keys or you allowed the car keys to be placed in a place where they could be taken by somebody in an unauthorized manner, it's your fault. You are responsible for the safekeeping of that car and its keys. If a burglar comes into your store and you have the keys locked up in a safe so that you have done everything that you can to safeguard those keys, maybe you could say, well, I can't be responsible because I've done everything that I can to safeguard those keys. I put them in a safe when I left my business. I locked them up. Someone came in with dynamite, opened up the safe, and took the keys. But that's not what happened.
All I can say, I'm not responsible if anybody brings to my place and takes a car. I'm responsible not having insurance, but not somebody trying to steal a car in my property. I mean,
listen to me carefully. You were negligent. You or your employee was negligent in...
It was not my employee.
2 ears, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 ears. You or one of your agents left his keys in such a place that somebody got access to them and took his car. You are responsible for that because it's your place of business.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I mean, are you thick or what? I'm telling you, I'm the lawyer.
Right.
Unless you went to law school, sir, and practiced law for 40 years, you have to rely on my judgment. That's why you're here.
And later today,
I was downstairs and I wake up to hearing the mother of my child cursing out my little girl, saying, wait, and she's holding my little girl up by one leg, so just the top of her head's touching the ground.
BMW. Robert says the car was stolen and wrecked while in Eric's possession.
What else?
There's an additional issue that I have a traffic collision report where the defendant apparently told the investigators that it was his employee that had taken the car.
Listen to me. It doesn't make any difference.
It makes a big difference because I was harassed by the police after that.
It doesn't make a difference. You permitted his car to be taken off your lot. Oh, I mean, are you thick or what? Listen to me. Have you ever been to a lawyer?
Yeah.
Just a second. I'm going to try to get it back to its basics to you, Mr. Salinas. What have you been to a lawyer for?
For different reasons.
Did you pay the lawyer money?
Yes, I do.
You paid the lawyer money for their expertise.
Right.
For their advice to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have never been to a lawyer that's smarter than I am. So what I'm trying to do, this is not a conversation we're having, Mr. Salinas.
Right.
I'm telling you what the law is, and you keep arguing with me. How stupid you would be to go to a lawyer. Listen, ears, Mr. Salinas. It would be the same thing if you went to a lawyer and gave him $5,000 to represent you in a business matter and asked his advice and he told you and you're having a fight with him. Why would you pay a lawyer to have a fight with them? You're paying them money because you know that they're smarter than you are. I can't fix a carburetor in a car and I can't get a ding out of a door. I would go to Eric because that's your business and that's your expertise.
Right.
This is not a discussion you and I are having. The facts are very simple. It's your responsibility. I'm telling you that as a lawyer. That's my listen to me. That's my training.
I understand
if somebody
that.
said to you, brought their car into you and you said, listen, it needs 2 coats of paint and it needs to be buffed out and it'll be good as new. And the person said, no, you can't do it. You have to buff it out 4 times and you have to take the paint off and you have to use a primer on it. You'd say to them, listen, you want to do that? Go to somebody else. I'm telling you, this is my expertise. This is what you have to do to get your door looking brand new. I'm telling you, I'm the lawyer.
Right.
Unless you went to law school, sir, and practiced law for 40 years, you have to rely on my judgment. That's why you're here. I'm telling you, it's your responsibility. You did not safeguard the car. You allowed the keys to that car to fall into the hands of someone who drove it in an unauthorized way without his permission while it was in your custody. The law says it's your responsibility. Well, he's going to answer me again.
No.
He's going to answer me again. I don't understand it. Could I have been nicer? Could I have been nicer?
You did everything.
I did everything I could.
Everything.
I really did everything I could.
For the same
I
reason
can't
I
do
offered
any.
to
Listen
fix
to
the
me.
car for free.
Be quiet, Mr. Salinas.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Casno says auto body shop owner Eric Salinas owes for the cost to repair his BMW. Robert says the car was stolen and wrecked while in Eric's possession.
Now, I don't think that you drove the car that collided with his car that dragged her for a block. I don't think you did that at all. I don't care whether you did it. The car was your responsibility until he picked it up after you fixed it. You're an insurer for that car's safety. And if you, an employee, somebody else, negligently leaves the keys around so that somebody can take it, and they drive it, and they have an accident with it, it's your fault. And if instead of injuring her, it had killed her, she would sue your company, and she would win. And the fact that you may not have insurance is your problem, not my problem. How much it cost to fix your car?
Total out of pocket was $5,161.34.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are
Thank you, Your Honor.
excused. You may step out.
I don't got nothing to say.
Well, obviously, I'm glad I was able to get some compensation for my losses.
Mr. Robert talked to the detective, and the detective, you know, they tried to put something together. I mean,
I had not had the police harass him. I knew really nothing about it. I could really offer nothing to the police because I wasn't there when the accident happened.
the only thing that I feel guilty of was I having insurance in that time, but I'm not responsible for somebody can come and break in.
You got to do the best you can to try to protect yourself as a consumer, and sometimes can't always do everything.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Soletic versus Brodalla. Step forward, please.
Matthew Soletic is suing his child's grandfather, Richard Brodalla, for the cost to make renovations to his home. Richard is countersuing for the cost of a car engine and a broken door.
Mr. Soletic, I assume that you and this lady were in a relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
And this lady is the daughter of this gentleman?
Yes, ma'am.
And you and this lady have a child together, a girl?
Yes, we do.
So that would make this gentleman your daughter's grandfather?
Correct.
For a period of time, you lived in Mr. Brodalla's home,
Yes, I did, ma'am.
along with your girlfriend
Yes, I did.
and your daughter.
Yes, and her son.
You lived there from when to when?
From September of 2009 until April 11th of 2010.
And where did you live prior to September of 2009?
I had a house that I was renting in a different part of the city of Crystal.
And what happened to that house?
I wound up losing the house because I couldn't
You
pay
got
the rent.
evicted?
Yes.
So when you got evicted from your old house, Mr. Brodalla took you in.
Yes, he did.
This is your lawsuit. Your lawsuit says while you were living there, you did a lot of renovations, a lot of construction in the house. You want him to pay you back for the materials that you put in the house because he kicked you out of the house after there was an altercation between you and his daughter.
I was not kicked out of the house. I was made to leave by the police. He never kicked me out. He just decided
somebody
not to.
kicked you out. The police kicked you out.
Yes.
Because somebody called the police. Who
It was Jessica, my daughter's mother.
Okay, and you want the materials. Mr. Brodalla says that that was not the agreement. He never told you he was going to reimburse you for the materials. He's got some nonsense counterclaim about some engine that you purchased for him way before you were even living with him. Right, Mr. Brodalla?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brodalla, let's forget about that nonsense. Will you please? It's sort of irritating to me.
Ma'am, I actually did give Mr. Brodalla a large sum of money, not the entire amount for the engine, but he gave the money back to me and told me to hang on to it, that he did not need the money, that I should use the money to start my life with what I thought would have been my family.
So how did you do that?
Excuse me? How did I do
Listen,
about
so
how did I start my
how did you do
life?
that? If he gave you back the money and said, I want you to use it to get a start on your
Well,
life,
to be
what
honest
did you
with
do
ma'am,
with it?
The money that I had that he had given back to me, I used to invest into a vehicle that I'm still trying to sell to this day, and
Wait,
I
just a
spent the
second.
rest
So
of it
you,
right
just
here.
a second. So you used it to invest in a vehicle.
Yes.
How does that start a new life? with his daughter?
Well, to be honest with you, it's hard to convince someone to move out of their dad's house when he pays all of their bills and makes everything so easy for them. It's hard to convince them to move out into the real world and you know,
All right,
have
let's stop for a moment, sir. What was the rent that you were paying or not paying in the house that you got evicted from? How much rent was your share?
$450 a month.
And how much money did you pay Mr. Brodalla to live in his house?
I didn't pay him. Listen.
As
far as rent goes, I did not pay him any rent money.
So you paid him nothing?
No, I paid him quite a bit.
What'd you pay him?
I did quite a bit of work in his home for him,
Great.
along with I offered to pay for quite a few things.
I'm asking you, Mr. Sedalic, what you paid him in rent. The answer is nothing.
Because he told me not to pay him anything.
That's not great. And because you felt as if you couldn't just live there like a bum, because you're a big, strong, strapping guy, you did some projects around the house.
Mr. Brodalla and I had a verbal contract.
No, you
that
didn't.
He was, yes, we did.
Baloney.
Here, I have proof of it.
Baloney.
There's a note that Jessica had wrote to her father the night before I wound up needing to leave the house, telling him to give me the money. So I
listen to me. Is that a contract between you and the defendant?
No, but
No but. There's no but. A contract is between a plaintiff and a defendant. Show me a contract that exists between you and Mr. Brodalla.
We had a verbal contract.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I'm not the one that's lying about it, Your Honor.
Yeah, right. Now, you want to tell me about the day that the police got called?
Sure. I was downstairs, and I wake up to hearing the mother of my child screaming and cursing out my little girl, saying, pardon my language, but quit. And she's holding my little girl up by one leg, so just the top of her head's touching the ground, because she wouldn't hold still when she was trying to change her diaper.
So what did you do?
I became upset, and I told her...
Tell me what you did.
I looked down, and I see dirty diapers sitting all over the floor, and I picked up the diaper, and I said, will you throw this in the trash? And I threw the diaper at her. And in between her cursing me out and yelling at me, she decided to run into her room and close the door. At that time, because of altercations we had had in the past, I decided that I needed to leave. And in the course of doing that, I told her all I wanted to do was give my little girl a kiss, and that I was going to leave. But, of course, you know, that wouldn't happen.
What did you do?
I tried to get into her room, and she...
And what did you do?
I broke down the door.
That's where you go, and you broke down the door. Now, I assume she has an order of protection against you, Mr. Sedalic.
Yes, she does.
And was that an order issued with your consent, or was there a trial?
It was with my consent.
Now, you also have visitation with your daughter.
No, I do not.
You don't have the right to see your daughter under supervision?
I've seen my little girl one time.
That's not what I asked you. I said, do you have the right to see your child under supervision? Have you supervised visitation?
A guardian ad litem?
Guardian ad litem was, you know who the guardian ad litem is?
Yes.
Represents the child.
Yes.
Not her. Now, when are you supposed to see your daughter?
Saturdays and Sundays from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock.
And where are you supposed to see your daughter?
At my next door neighbor's house.
Do you go there every Saturday and Sunday?
This last weekend I was not able to because my daughter was not there.
Goodbye, sir. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's the judge.
I'm very happy with the decision. I thought it went well.
Now, this is case number 576 on the calendar in the matter of Burnham versus Allen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Burnham, according to your complaint, the defendant, who is your former girlfriend, has some property that belongs to you from a time when you were living together. Defendant says she has no property that belongs to you, and she is counterclaiming for a loan that she made to you some time ago. When did you live together, Mr. Burnham?
Well, we lived together for about 4 years, and it ended May 9th of 2000.
What took you so long?
I love her.
Well, you love her, but if you miss this property, you're going to tell me what the property is in a minute. What took you so long to file a complaint, is my question.
Our relationship had been going up and down. When it first went down, I made arrangements to have my father go pick up belongings from her house in June of 2000.
When you moved out in May of 2000, what property did you take with you?
Well, actually, I didn't move out. I was kicked out. I was able to go in. I got a couple changes of clothes.
What do you mean you were able to go in?
She had changed the locks while I was gone.
Okay.
She told me that she would meet me back at the house. She never showed up. One of the doors was unlocked. I got a couple changes of clothes, some movies, DVD player. She came home, was very upset with me, called the police, so I left.
So then what happened in June? June, you sent your parents over.
Actually, it was May 14th. I have the paper here.
Can I see what she has? Could it have been May 14th, sir, that your parents went over?
It could very well be. I have the same letter. Yeah, May 14th, 2000. My parents went over to collect my stuff. Rebecca had a bunch of it already boxed up, and because of her erratic behavior and constantly lying, my parents had asked her to make a list of the belongings that she was packing and then to sign it so that in the future there wouldn't be any problems with her calling the police and saying I was robbing her like she's prone to do.
All right, well, what was left there, sir, after June or May 14th, 2000?
I had a ton of movies. I've got 2 bookshelves full of DVDs and VHS tapes. I have several hundred books, hardback and paperback, computer monitors.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I have a monitor. There was no monitor in any of the boxes we have.
That's
Okay,
a note my stepmom wrote on there.
Okay. Now, what took you 2 years to come to complain with regard to these books and tapes and DVDs?
Our relationship was going up and down. We got back together casually. We made arrangements for me to go. She didn't show up. In fact, she called the police and said that I was doing telephone harassment. We made another arrangement. I got a truck. She again didn't show up and called the police and said that I was threatening to murder her and was going to solicit the help of a
Well,
cop.
what did you want at that point, sir? Your complaint indicates you want $5,000, which you claim to be the value of your DVDs, your books, and a computer.
Correct.
Computer equipment.
Correct.
Right? Now, if you had this on-again, off-again relationship, what did you leave your computer there for?
I didn't actually leave a computer. It was just accessories, a scanner and digitizer and stuff like that.
Why did you leave it there?
I tried to get as much stuff out.
Listen to me. Because I can understand you're not boxing up books and taking them out. But if you have computer equipment, that to me, things that you need every day, and you weren't living there anymore, why wouldn't you take that out of the house?
I did not have a computer at the time, so those belongings, those computer accessories were not of paramount importance to me.
What do you mean you didn't have a computer at the time? You mean you had a whole bunch of accessories in her house, but
Yes.
never owned a computer at her house?
No, the computer was part of a theft case, and it was taken by the local police department.
I want you to explain that to me.
I was arrested for possession of stolen property. The computer was the property in question.
Okay. So you just had these things that were things that you could have used if you had a computer, but your computer you didn't have because it wasn't your computer.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Miss Allen, books. Do you have any of his books?
No, I don't have any of his books.
What happened to the books that he had in your house?
His parents came and got them. That's on that list there.
On the list, it only says paperback books. All my hardbacks are still there.
Paperback books. Where are the hardcover books?
He doesn't have any books at my house. He got all his property. He's been in my house since May of 2000. He's got stuff out of there.
Give me the titles to all the books, hardcover books, Mr. Burnham, that you claim are in her house.
I have a complete series of Dean Koontz, Stephen King. I have C.S. Lewis, Peter Straub, complete collections of several authors, Jonathan Kellerman, Faye Kellerman.
Where are they?
He has got his stuff. He has gotten everything out of my house. He has nothing in my house.
You keep saying that, Miss Allen. I'm asking you, he indicates, and it's clear from the list that you prepared, that
Right.
there were no hardcover books returned to him.
Right. And he's been in my house and he's gotten several of his hardcover books. Plus,
he's gotten several. Where are the rest?
The rest are my books. The rest of the books are
She
my
doesn't
books.
even read.
Actually, he ordered things underneath my name and my daughter's name through book clubs and get books for free. So,
Miss Allen, let's not play games, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
When I said, where are his books, and you said he took everything that belongs to him. So then we get down to it, and you're claiming that there are hardcover books
Yeah,
in the
but
house.
they're not
Listen to
his.
me. That there are hardcover books,
Mm-hmm.
but since they were ordered under your name and your daughter's name, that you believe they're your books.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Is that what you're saying? All right, so now at least we have it clear. It's not that they're not there, it's that you're claiming they're yours. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Stephen King.
Yes.
I want you to tell me, Miss Allen, which of Stephen King's books have you read?
I have read it, and I have read I can't think of the name right now. There's a book called Christine. There's
Not what they're called. Which ones have you read? And this may turn into a test, so make sure that I get the right answer.
I've read it.
Okay, you read it. You read one. Mm-hmm. You read one of the books. Kellerman.
I can't think of the names right now. Those books that he's talking about, I do not have them.
Which ones do you have in your house that you are claiming belong to you or your daughter? How old is your daughter?
She's 4.
She doesn't like it.
No.
How many books?
She watched the movie. I have Faye Kellerman. I have, they're romance novels and a lot of different books by Daniel Steele.
The romance novels aren't mine. She can have those.
Daniel Steele books. There's.
He doesn't read Danielle Steele.
I can't think of the names of the books right now.
Right?
Right.
Well, he has to have his books back. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. I don't care who ordered them through a book club. If he ordered them and you didn't pay for them.
He ordered them under my name.
You didn't pay for them. Is that right?
No, but he.
Good. He wants them. You don't want him to harass you anymore. Is that right?
Correct.
Then give him back what he wants. Don't be foolish. Do you understand?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Duncan Burnham says when ex-girlfriend Rebecca Allen kicked him out of the home, she kept his belongings. Rebecca says Duncan still owes her for bailing him out of jail.
What else?
Movies. I've got probably 200 VHS movies and 100 DVDs that are still at the house.
Let's hear about it.
I have a picture of the DVDs. I have them mainly kids' DVDs and kids' videos. I gave him DVDs and I gave him videos back.
Forget the kids' videos. Forget the kids' videos.
Okay, I have bought videos. I have got my own DVDs. He does not own any of those DVDs or movies anymore.
Sir, do you have any receipts for DVDs that you purchased?
I did, but she took them from me.
Well, then I can't tell. If you have 200, and she's probably got a couple that she got herself.
She's got some new ones.
Well, I am not going to go to her house and figure out what this is yours, this is mine. You get your books back so far. Now let's talk about the computer stuff.
Okay.
You stole a computer, but you had computer stuff, monitor and scanner and other stuff. You have any of that stuff?
Yes, it's mine. It's my stuff.
Good.
And
Can I see the receipts for it?
Okay. I have a receipt for my new computer.
Not computer. Are you playing with me?
No, I'm not.
Well, then listen to me carefully.
Okay.
Stop with your own agenda. He's not saying computer. He's saying accessories for the computer.
Right.
You're talking about a monitor.
2 monitors.
2 monitors.
A 15-inch and a 17-inch.
And I don't have that. I have my own new computer system. I don't have any of that.
Where was it? Did you get rid of it?
No, he took the stuff out of my house. He
When?
took this CD writer out of my house.
Listen to me. Look at me.
And
I said monitor.
Monitor? I don't have a monitor.
Where is it?
It's gone.
Where gone is it?
Sold. It was sold.
Don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you, Judge.
It was sold when?
Last year.
Why?
Because he has not come to my house to get his stuff. He left it there.
Actually,
okay, just a second. Miss Allen, that's an answer. Don't say it's not there and start showing me a bill for a computer. You sold some of his stuff. Is that right?
It wasn't his stuff.
You sold the monitor. Don't tell me the monitor wasn't his. I'm beginning to not believe a lot of stuff that you tell me.
Okay.
The monitor wasn't yours. The monitor was his. You sold it. You sold it because he hadn't picked it up for a while. That's what you just told me. Then you told me it wasn't his. Then first you told me you didn't have it.
I have proof that he stole the computer system. I have proof that he stole it.
How much is a monitor? This is an old monitor. How much is a monitor?
15-inch monitor goes for about $90.
And the 17-inch monitor?
About $250.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me about your counterclaim because you say you loaned him $350 for bail.
Yes, I did.
Let me hear about it.
Last year, when he was in jail, he called me and said, I have a good job now. Can you help me get me out of jail? So I bailed him out for $200.
Did she lay out any money to bail you out of jail?
Yes, she did.
Did you pay it back?
No.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay it back? Show me.
I paid her in cash for 150 of it, and I direct deposited $200 into her savings account, and I don't have receipts.
Did he direct deposit any money into your account?
He did not pay me back at all.
I actually paid her back the day. I paid her the $200 the day after. It was I was arrested at around my birthday for failure to appear. I missed a court date. I had gotten a check from my parents for $200 as a birthday gift, and I deposited that directly into her account. I gave her $75 out of my next paycheck, and then $75 2 paychecks later, 4 weeks later after that.
Look
And
at
it
me,
was all
Miss Allen.
cash.
Does that sound right to you?
No.
I don't believe you.
No, I didn't.
No, I don't believe you.
I didn't
I believe that you loaned him the money, and I believe that he paid you back, and I believe that you filed this counterclaim after this long period of time only because he's suing you for his property.
Well,
that's what I believe. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim because I believe you were paid back. Now, as far as the other stuff is concerned, Mr. Burnham.
Yes.
The monitors were old, and maybe they were worth at this point $100 if you went to sell them.
The
And you have
17-inch
new,
was
and you
brand
have new stuff now anyway. Is
I've
that
had
right?
to replace it all, yes.
All right. And you don't get any real rewards for having gone out and spent money to buy monitors for computers that you stole. Do you understand? However, Miss Allen is going to box up your books, and I'm issuing a money judgment in the amount of $100 for the stuff that she sold. Your counterclaim's dismissed. I believe you were paid. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Rebecca is a habitual liar.
he got all the stuff out of my house. And he just wants to now be revenge because I don't want to see him anymore.
I still love her. She means a lot to me.
He has 4 felonies.
Criminal history does not necessarily define the person.
He's a thief, and he lies.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Crowell versus Bowie. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Vanessa Crowell is suing her friend's father, 44-year-old truck driver Donnell Bowie, for the money she paid him for a car. Vanessa says Donnell never gave her the vehicle.
Miss Crowell, the defendant is the father of your very good friend. According to your complaint, you gave him $500 and he was going to get a used car for you. Is that his business?
Yes, ma'am. That's where he worked at the time.
And he would get what kind of car for you?
Well, we agreed to $500 down on a green Cutlass Sierra that he said that he had.
And you gave him the money?
Yes.
And he never produced the car?
Mm-hmm.
He says you never gave him any money. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Who was present when you gave him the money?
His daughter, Jaquetta Bowie. That's my witness.
Where did you get the money from?
I worked. And then my friend, well, my friend mother also gave me $100 too. But I did have a job.
Okay, so you should have some record of taking the money out of the bank.
No, see, I don't have a bank account. I go cash the check and keep the money until I had enough to give him the $500.
Where were you keeping the money?
At home, just in a dresser.
According to you, you gave the defendant $500. You waited and waited. He did not deliver the car and refuses to return your $500.
Yes, ma'am.
And what has he said to you when you asked him for your $500 back?
He would tell me to wait till Saturday, wait till next week. He'll have the money.
Well, what happened to the car?
Okay, the first car, the Cutlass Sierra, when he said he was bringing it to me, it cut down on the side of the road because it was overheated. And then after that, he was like, that car is bad, that car is bad. And then a while later, he was like, I have a Honda Civic for you. And then he was like, no, you don't want that car, you don't want that car, so I'm just going to give you your money back. And so I continuously waited for that. And then he would catch attitudes with me like I'm the one who's wrong when I asked for my money back.
So tell me what happened, sir.
She came to my house, her and my daughter, and I've always kept 3 or 4 cars. And I had a '86 Cadillac that I wasn't driving, and my daughter had liked the car. It was a nice-looking car. My daughter had kept bugging me about the car. And finally one day they came over. She said, well, no, I don't want this car. She said the car is too big. I said, well, this is the only car I have. And I said, I know some friends of mine that sell cars. She said, well, no, somebody had supposed to be getting the car for her from somewhere. And she said, well, I'll get the car from whoever the person was that she told me about. So I didn't think about it no more. Till one day I got off from work, and I came in from work, and my daughter had said the sheriff or someone had brought a summons by my house for me to appear in court.
Why do you think she's bringing you to court?
But just of all, her and my daughter here, Jaquetta, they have some type of lesbian relationship. They have a lesbian relationship, and I don't go along with it. My daughter had gone with one another. I don't know.
What that got to do with this?
This is the point where I'm here. This is the point where I'm here because the simple reason I didn't go along with this lesbian trip you and my daughter's on.
But what that got to do with a car?
What I'm asking you, sir, is...
She did not give me any money on. This is what I'm telling you. The bottom line, she did not give me no money.
I'd like to hear the witness. Who are you, sir?
Jaquetta Bowie, daughter of the defendant.
Now I got it. Were you present when Miss Crowell gave money to your father?
Yes, I was. It was at my house.
Tell me about it.
Well, a week before the money was exchanged, me and Vanessa was sitting down on my bed talking about wanting cars. And so I was like, well, my dad works at a car lot. So she asked me the names, and I told her it was. So she was like, well, give your dad a call for me and see if he'll make a deal for $500 if he can give me a used car.
Yes, you did.
So,
don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
So I called him, and he said he would work a deal with the $500 and that he would meet us at my house. This is where I'm at fault, because I told him not to get a receipt. I said, don't worry about it, because I trust my dad. So he came, and we talked for a second about the Cutlass Sierra that he promised her.
That I would get Saturday.
That she would get the following Saturday. And she gave him the money, two $100 bills and the rest in 20s. And when that Saturday came, no car, and we couldn't find him.
Why do you think your father would do that?
Ignorant.
Hmm?
Ignorant.
But you had a reasonable relationship with your father up until now.
Yeah, up until after I saw that he wasn't returning her money or wasn't trying to get her car.
Ms. Cromwell, I believe you.
Thank you.
I believe that you gave him $500. I believe you, and I believe your witness.
Thank you.
And I don't believe you, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Thank you.
Well, this is a lesbian relationship, and they know it. If you're going to do something, don't be ashamed of what you do, okay what I'm saying?
He can say what he wants because I'm not a lesbian. Look at me, okay? It don't matter.
Both of them are two lesbians, okay? And it's my daughter, okay?
I'm living my life. If I'm living my life that way, hey, that's me. He over there cheating on his wife, so.
You know she's lying. They're lesbians. That's the bottom line. They're two lesbians.
Don't be ignorant.
I'm just glad to see it over with.
Anyways, I won. I won.
This is case number 441 on the calendar in the matter of Griffin versus Moore.
Thank you, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant met when I believe her husband and your son were incarcerated together.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint alleges that you developed a friendship and you allowed the defendant to charge certain items on your credit card with the agreement that she would repay you or pay the bill as it came in. Initially she did, then she stopped. And you allege that when she stopped paying, she owed you $842.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So when did you first meet the defendant?
I think approximately about a year ago. My son was incarcerated, and he was her husband's roommate. So we became good friends, and we would go shopping at the Avenue, and every time she would charge anything, she was so good about paying it. I mean, it was probably most of the time before it even became due. When my son got out of incarceration, she had a type of attraction to my son. It became almost impossible for me to have conversations with her because I did not want to be in the middle.
Your Honor, that's not the truth.
Just a second.
And after a lot of harassing phone calls, I had asked to quit because I couldn't take it anymore. Then at that time, she refused to pay for what was left to be owed on my credit cards.
What was left?
This is the deposits of as far back as we started this. These are all that she's charged, all she's paid, what she owes is left.
So she paid on time until October?
Yes, ma'am, till the end of October.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
What she said is correct as far as our friendship. Her son was incarcerated with my husband. When things went bad was because her son had a drug problem. And I tried to help him.
Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
Just a second.
Her son asked me for a ride to the interstate. I took him to my house instead of the interstate. Miss Griffin got to my house before we did. Basically, her son had took a video camera from her. She had searched her son's coat. She pulled out the camera. So then she left, and her son was still there with me. I then took her son to his girlfriend that lived in Charleston, and that's when his mother, she turned against me. She told me our friendship was over because I tried to help her son.
What date was that?
Ma'am, to be honest with you, I'm not sure.
Okay. She says that you did not pay the October bill, which
Ma'am,
is $800.
I have a check.
Which is $800. Listen to me.
Okay.
Which is $846.05.
Yes, ma'am, I understand
the October bill. Okay, let me see.
And I'm not denying that there were credit card charges. There were. I have a check from State Street Bank that was given, that it was a 401k check that I received from my employer. I have a copy of the front and back of that check that I gave her permission to go get out of my post office box and endorse and deposit into her account. She gave me $368 back.
May I see it, please?
And I have it where she endorsed my name and her name on the back. That's not my signature. Because at the time I was on a medical leave, she knew that my money was a little tight. I told her to take the check to pay for the bills because I never missed paying her.
I'm just trying to find the date on this, when she endorsed it.
It was on 1027 on my, it's on, I think, the second or third page of my bank account statements. And you'll see right next to it where I cashed a check for the exact amount and gave it to Miss Moore at my home right in front of my husband. He'll be a witness to that.
Her husband has never been present.
Just a second.
We've made any charges or any money exchange.
Just a second. So what you're telling me, Miss Griffin, is that at the time your friendship was coming to an end, the defendant gave you a check, which you did in fact cash, in the amount of $1,012.99.
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave her the entire amount of money.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't make sense to me, Miss Griffin.
That weekend, Miss Moore came to my house.
Yeah.
I gave her the full amount of cash, handed it to her.
Right.
She said she wanted to give me $300 because she had a rainbow rental or something that was pressing and had to be paid. And she said when she got her check on Tuesday...
Let me see the rest of her papers, please.
When she got the rest of her check on Tuesday, that she would take care of the rest of it.
Your Honor, I could have...
And the whole time Miss Moore was out on disability...
Just a second.
I could have cashed that check myself.
I cashed her check because she did not have a bank account at that time. I took care of things for her. She had some drug problem, and she tried to commit suicide.
Not interested in that.
Well,
Your
I mean,
Honor,
I
that
was
is
there
not true.
taking
I just
care
read
of her.
police
I
reports
didn't want to turn my back on her.
Your Honor, that is...
Were there any witnesses present to the transfer of this $1,012 to Miss Moore
My
on the
husband,
27th?
Michael Griffin, was there.
See here?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
Honor, he was never
Michael.
present during any of these things.
Just a second.
It was just me and her.
Go ahead.
Mrs. Moore wanted to meet with my wife at our home because whoever she was seeing for therapeutic reasons told her to come to closure between Kevin and Nancy. And I was standing right there in my bedroom. She was sitting in the blue chair to the left of my bed when Nancy handed her $1,012 and change, and Rebecca handed her back $300 to deposit in Nancy's account.
No, ma'am, that is not true. Mr. Griffin was never
Now,
present
just a
during
second.
any of these transactions.
Just a second. I don't see whether she was given credit for the $300.
On the first page, every deposit that she made to me is on the left. Every bill that I wrote to the Avenue or any of my other credit cards
So is what you're telling
to the right.
Is what you're telling me that at the time she made these purchases in October, she still had an outstanding bill to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, also Mrs. Griffin shopped along with me, and she had stuff on that bill as well, where our stuff was added together and not separately.
That's wrong, Your Honor. If you look at my receipts, I've been very careful, and she had one receipt, and I had one receipt.
Always a big mistake.
Your Honor,
You know, you understand this is always a big mistake to do.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Miss Griffin, who it appears over an extended period of time, had been very good to you financially by allowing you to make these purchases when you didn't have the cash to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Would all of a sudden say that you have an outstanding bill to her of $846 when you didn't?
Your Honor, like I said, when our friendship separated, it was due to the fact that her son stole from me and he went to jail for a drug charge.
That's untrue, Your
And
Honor.
I have the police report here. That's when mine and her friendship went sour, because her son came to me. He asked me for help. He spent 3 days at my home when she didn't know where he was. When I told her that he had been at my home, she got very upset with me for not contacting her.
What date was that?
It was before Halloween.
11/3.
So it was after this?
No, this was the weekend prior to 11/3.
Was it before or after the $1,000 check was cashed
This was
by the plaintiff?
This was after.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. We were still very much a part of each other's lives at that time. She had continued to call. I said, please do not call me anymore. I got so upset that I wound up in the hospital on her last phone call.
Okay.
Your Honor,
I believe you, sir. Listen to me. I believe you, sir, when you indicate that $1,012 was passed. Were you present when $300 was given to your wife?
Yes, Your Honor.
How was that given?
In cash.
$100 bill?
Rebecca, pardon me, Your Honor. Rebecca handed back cash, $300 cash to Nancy.
Not true, Your Honor. That is not true. And I have somebody
You have
here
your
with-
bank records with you?
No, because at the time I did not have a bank account. She was correct about that. I did not have a bank account. But I could have cashed that check myself through my employer's bank.
But you didn't.
But I always cash
You
my
didn't.
checks by myself. She
You
never
said
did
you
it
had a
before.
witness. I'll hear your witness if your witness has anything germane. If he does.
Yes,
What is your name?
Alan Young. I've been a friend of Rebecca's for 15 years. Becca asked me would I give her a loan of $300 because she owed Mrs. Griffith some money. She borrowed money from me that night because she said she had to pay on her rent or something. So I kind of believed her.
What is your rent, Miss Moore?
$385.
Well, even if she took all the money she owed you, you still had the $300 for rent.
I understand
So why did you
that.
need to borrow money from him for?
Because I had additional bills that I owed for besides paying her. But I wanted to pay her and have her out of the way because I always paid her before the bills were due.
Do you have the statement from your account, Miss Griffin, as to what payments you made on the account in November?
Yes, ma'am, that would be right in those payments there. I'll be glad
I
to
see.
show
You
them to
made a deposit on the 30th of October.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, she was paid in full when she received that check.
No, ma'am, I was not.
Yes, you were.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because I see no other basis for her depositing only $300 into her checking account on the 30th
Well, Your
of
Honor,
October.
I can't help if that's the only thing she deposited. She was paid.
I have to make a determination based upon evidence. The evidence indicates that on or about the time that that check was cashed, she did deposit $300 into her account. So I'm entering a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $842. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The jail Monday.
She is married, and at the time I had a fiance.
I lost a friendship on kind of her son's drug problem.
She knew that, and she was still coming on to me.
She can't rule everybody.
And now the next case.
All parties on Gregorian versus Scoturio. Step forward, please.
23-year-old cashier Mariam Gregorian is suing former live-in boyfriend, 23-year-old salesman Scott Scoturio, for his share of a security deposit. Scott is countersuing for the cost to rent a U-Haul, storage costs, and harassment.
Ms. Gregorian, you and the defendant lived together. Were you boyfriend and girlfriend at the time? According to your complaint, you had an arrangement with the defendant that since he had no money, you would put down the security deposit on the apartment, and he was to reimburse you for half.
For half, yes.
And half of the security deposit was $600?
Yes.
And you also say that the time that you left the apartment, because he was threatening, you gave him an additional $200.
For April's month's rent, yes.
So he says that you actually owe him money because he was forced, as a result of your leaving, to hire a U-Hauler to take all of his furniture out. Is that right?
Correct.
And that was not the agreement, that you were going to reimburse her for half of the security deposit. Your agreement was she would pay for the security deposit, first, last, etc., and you would pay for the household furnishings and all of the household appliances.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
When did you move in together?
We moved in February 1st together.
And when did you leave the apartment?
April 2nd.
And you had had an argument at that time?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So you were ready to call it quits, and you were ready to call it quits, I assume.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Now, you agree that she did put down this $1,200.
The $1,200, correct.
And to fulfill your part of the obligation, you purchased all the furniture.
Correct.
And you purchased all the appliances.
Correct.
In the U-Haul that you hired, did you put all the furniture?
Yes.
And did you put all the appliances that you purchased?
Yes.
Did she take any of the furniture?
No.
Did she take any of the appliances?
No, ma'am.
Well, so then let's understand this. On the one side, she put down the $1,200. You purchased all the stuff, but you have all the stuff,
Correct.
right? She's out the $1,200, including half that should be yours, right?
No, because that wasn't the agreement.
Well, the understanding was that if she put down, according to you, that if she put down the $1,200, your capital contribution to the apartment would be, I assume, purchasing furniture and appliances, about the same amount of money, $1,200.
Correct.
Did you spend $1,200?
About that, maybe a little more.
But you haven't. You didn't say to her, I'll give you half, right?
Correct.
Why not?
Because the agreement was before we even took the apartment that if anything should happen to the relationship, that we would at least stay as roommates in the apartment.
Nobody stays on as roommates. That's stupid. In any event, sir, I don't believe you had that conversation. So what I'm asking you is let's talk about money. Let's say you spent $1,200 on furniture appliances. She spent $1,200, right? Each of you should be out $600. That's math. I'm not really good at math. But am I making myself clear to you, Bird?
Very.
Right. So you got $1,200 worth of furniture and appliances. That's on your side. But you kept it. Now, you want to give her $600, you want to give her half the furniture?
I'm not going to give her half the furniture.
So that's $600 for you. Now tell me about this $200.
The $200 was April 2nd when I left. He told me I owe him April's rent. And I felt that I didn't need to because it was April 2nd. It wasn't a complete month yet. I didn't need to give him anything.
But you did?
But I did because at the time that he had a spare key to my car and he told me that he would hide my car if he needed to until I gave him the money. And I took the $200 and I basically threw it at him.
So, cheap price, $200. You don't get that back. You get your $6 because I believe that that was your agreement. Now, you hired a U-Haul it. Why didn't you stay in the apartment?
Because due to her leaving, I mean, I couldn't afford the apartment on my own.
Well, just a minute. How much was the rent?
$600 a month.
And she had already given you $2 for April.
She had not given me $2 for April. During the argument, she actually opened her closet, which she already had her stuff packed, and just left.
She didn't give you an additional $200?
No, I left the apartment before she even finished taking her stuff out.
Really?
Your Honor, that's not true because we were fighting and there was a person on the phone. He was speaking to his mother and a friend of his, telling them how I started out being a psychopath. He sat there and watched me leave and pack up.
What date did you move out?
I believe it was the first week in May.
You stayed for the entire month of April.
Yes.
So you lived there. She didn't, right?
Correct.
So you pay for it. And then you had to move because of the rent. Where did you move to?
I'm actually staying with my sister right now.
Okay, you paying any rent there?
No.
Well, look at it this way. You spent $300 for a U-Haul.
Approximately, yes.
That would have been your share of the $300 worth of rent, right?
Correct.
And you couldn't afford the apartment anyway, right? So, and you got all that nice furniture. So what are you complaining about?
Your Honor, can I say something?
No, I want to ask him I want to find out what he's complaining about.
Actually, what I'm complaining about is, Your Honor, she stated in the police report, actually, when she filed for court, that I threatened her life and I threatened to do her harm. She actually, I have mail here, which she had actually forwarded to my sister's address. If I was threatening her life, I don't understand why she would forward mail to my sister's address where she knows that I go, when I also have police reports stating that they heard messages of her threatening to kill me, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, let me see the letter that you have, sir. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but let me take a look at it.
I forwarded the mail to her sister's address because at the time when I had nowhere to go, she offered to take me in. That's why I did it.
Whatever. It's really not dispositive of anything. All right, you owe $600. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't feel like I owe him anything.
Should have broke even. Nobody should have been owed anything if you really look at it, because she left, she vacated the property without notice.
Hope to become friends further in the future and put this all behind us.
Since the day she left the apartment, that she has continually harassed me, threatened my life, threatened my vehicle, etc.
He's a tough person to speak to.
Number 175 on the calendar in the matter of Crothers versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Crothers, the defendant is your ex-boyfriend. It is your claim that on 3 separate occasions he caused damage to your leased car. You want him to pay for the damage.
Yes.
He says, I don't know what you're talking about. Right?
Correct.
When was the first time he caused damage to your car?
It was about the first week of July. We were living in our apartment.
July of last year?
Yes. We were arguing, and he left with my keys so that I couldn't go anywhere. It was like Friday night. and I had an extra set of keys, so I left. I went to the house that he was at.
And an extra set of keys to your car.
Yeah, he took the set of keys to my car and the house key, the apartment key. And so I went over there, and he got mad, and he went into his car, and him and his friends had left, and they were driving around the town, so I was following him because I needed my keys to get back into the apartment. And I followed him. We went into a car lot, parking lot, and he got out and kicked the side of my car because I was following him. He was mad. And so I went back to the house. I tried to get out of my door, and I couldn't get out of the door. And I seen that he kicked the side of my car, and then he kicked the front. There's like a hairline crack on the front of the hood.
All right. And then you all made up.
Well, because we were living together.
Then you made up.
Yeah.
And you continued to live together.
Yeah, because we had an apartment lease.
It's not because you had an apartment lease. You made up.
Yeah.
And then when was the next time he caused damage to your car?
We were at our apartment, and I came home from work, and he was leaving, and I was mad because he was leaving because our daughter was there. And I yelled at him down the balcony, and he got mad, and he took his car and ran right into my car.
Say what you
on
yelled
purpose.
So he ran into your car. What kind of damage did he cause that time?
I have pictures if you'd like to see them.
Let's see damage number 2 first.
That's when he backed his car up and ran into it on purpose.
And when was the next time he damaged your car?
There's a place called McKinley where everybody hangs out.
Date.
It was about the 3rd week of July. It all happened in July.
It all happened in July. You were all still living together. So after he backed into your car, you continued to live together.
Yeah, because I couldn't get a lease. I still had to pay for an
Don't tell me you
apartment.
continued the lease. You continued to live together. You made up. You came home, you had a fight, but you made up.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
he left.
All right. And then we have another one in July. What happened the last week in July?
I couldn't find him that night, so I knew where he was at this popular place. And so I went up there, and he threw a 40 at my car of beer.
He threw what?
A 40 of beer.
40 ounce beer.
Yeah.
He was probably drunk on all these times he ran into my car.
And what happened as a result of that?
We had an argument, and I left and went back to the apartment.
When did you finally separate from this gentleman?
Last November, I
So
moved
you
back with
stayed
my
with
parents.
him August and September and October, and November you left.
Yeah.
So, did you have the car fixed yet?
Not yet, because I don't have the money. He was supposed to be giving me money each week.
Let me see the rest of the damage to the car.
And I have an estimate, too.
This is where the 40 went on the
Yes.
car? And this is where he kicked the car?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's hear you. Let's start with the first incident in July.
All right.
You took the keys. She got her own keys. She came to find you. She shouldn't have done that, but she did it.
Yeah, and she chased me.
And she chased you.
Yeah, she's a little bit crazy.
Because I needed my keys.
I don't want you to speak to him. Should have left the door open.
All right.
Give me, you should have needed your keys. Give me the
And
phone.
then once we got to the parking lot where she pulled up behind me, this is how she messed up her own car. She put up behind me and she was like, what do you think you're doing? Who you got in the car? I was like, don't worry about it. Then she pushed her car on the back of my car and pushed her car like this. After we went back, because after we left that place, we went back to the house that we was over at. Then she tried to get out of her car and her door would not open. But what she did was try to force herself out of it, and then that's when the door was like that, from the fender being pushed back a little bit.
Are you
messed up
telling
the
me,
fender.
Mr. Smith, that you did not kick her car
I did not kick her car, ma'am.
on that occasion?
On that occasion, I did
All
not
right,
kick her
let's
car.
go to the 40-ounce beer bottle. You did throw that at the hood of her car, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh, okay, 40-ounce bottle of beer. I figured you did. And you did, in fact, back your car into hers.
Yes. Not purposely.
But
Yes,
you
you
did.
did.
Shh, just a second. But you did.
Not purposely. But yes, I did.
I don't care whether it was purpose. That's what an accident is.
Okay.
That's why they don't call it an on purpose. They call it an accident. All right?
Okay.
So you admit to these two?
Yes.
Yes, but not the first one.
Correct.
I believe you. Let me see the estimates for the two.
It's
This
all
one-
on one.
Well, I'm going to take off for the first one.
If he did those other two, then don't you think he would do the first one, too?
No, I think that if he denied doing all three, then I might have a problem. But he doesn't. He admits to two of them.
Because
See,
if I
the
ran into
reason
his,
Just
why
not the first one.
if I ran into his car, he would have had damage to his car.
Well,
and he
you
don't have
did
any
do damage to my car. You threw a rock
No,
at my
there's not.
car.
Hey, don't fight with each other.
And also, the reason why I threw the beer bottle, she came and brought my little daughter up there on McKinley and just dropped her right on the ground, told me
Yeah,
to
'cause
come
you
get
don't know
her.
how to watch her.
But you don't do that to a kid, especially mine.
Bird, would you do me a favor? Are you used to looking at these things from body shops? You ever seen these things?
I've seen some.
You see, this is what he's responsible for. He's responsible for this, and he's responsible for this.
Then also, she also claimed that she was going to pay for my car also. I haven't received no money.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
what did she do to your car, sir?
I have a Beretta. And on the back of a Beretta, you have a plastic thing where you got your name of the Beretta. She still rocking, broke my plastic off of there. Cost $379 to get fixed.
Did you get it fixed?
No, I didn't. She told me she was going to pay for it.
Did you counterclaim for that?
No, I didn't.
So that's a nice story.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heather Crothers says ex-boyfriend Terrence Smith vandalized her car 3 times.
These 3?
Those 3 figures there.
All right. The damage that I find him responsible for is $310.81. Now, you have a child together?
Yes.
How old?
16 months.
Is that your only child?
Yes.
Child live with whom?
Lives with her.
Do you visit?
Yes, I do.
Don't pay
As a-
child support.
I fell behind because I lost a job. I used to work with her father until we separated, so had to go find another job. Then she got child support on me, with child support my child. Then I got terminated from that job, but I just started up another job last week. And I'm going to get caught up on my support, but it's like I have hard times trying to go pick up my daughter from her. That even, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago, I had to go over to her house and had to call the cops over there because she wouldn't let me use the car seat.
Why won't you get your own car seat?
I didn't have a job at the time.
Hey, let me give you a piece of advice. You picked him to father your child. You picked him. Now he's the father. So you're not supposed to say nasty things about each other.
In front of our daughter, correct.
You're not supposed to do that at all.
And
Because
she
that
does
doesn't...
that all the time, the
Just a
N-word.
second. Okay, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
You should have been smarter. Mr. Smith, before you make a baby with somebody, you're supposed to know all about them because then you are joined together for a very long time. And if you picked somebody who's got a nasty attitude, which is what you're suggesting, then you picked her, just like she picked you.
Correct.
But right now you have a child, and you're not supposed to do anything to make the child miserable. You understand?
Yes. The only day that he wants to ever pick her up is Sunday, and he has to go out on the weekends, which I don't think is fair because I have her all week, and then he just comes to get her on Sunday, which I can't go do anything.
I even got my...
Just a second. Why don't you stop being a baby?
I need time to myself, and he has all the time in the world to
It's
himself.
all about you.
Just a second. Why don't you stop being a baby?
I am.
You are a baby.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. If he wants to pick up his daughter on Sunday, that's when he wants to see her. He's supposed to work Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. That's what he's supposed to do, right? Comes, picks up your child. If you work, which I assume you do, is that
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yes.
And somebody takes care of the baby during the day?
My mom.
Very good. So you see her when you come home from work?
Yes.
You see her in the evening?
Yes.
You tuck her in at bed at night?
Yes.
You see her in the morning before you go to work?
No.
Well, that's too bad. Why don't you see her every day, 6 days a week?
Yes.
Fine. One day he gets to see her. So you have your nails done on a different day. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $310.81. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If she wouldn't be so childish, maybe everything would have been better in our relationship, but all the driving around, crashing cars, it's all childish games.
He's the one childish. He goes to the bar Friday, Saturday night, didn't come home till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I should have been a little bit more of a man, thought about her thoughts, but at the same time, she still shouldn't have been crazy towards me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Wilson versus Watson. Step forward, please.
51-year-old operations coordinator Mary Wilson and her daughter, 19-year-old Natalie, are suing 39-year-old executive director of a home for single mothers, Teresa Watson, for the return of 2 months' rent.
Mrs. Wilson, I assume this is your daughter?
Yes.
Your daughter has a baby.
Yes.
And there came a time when you felt as if it was in everyone's best interest, I assume, for your daughter to enter a residence with her baby.
That's correct.
And you signed up for the defendant's residence. You have a transition housing?
Yes.
For young mothers and their babies?
Yes.
It didn't work out. Your daughter left before the agreed time for her to stay there, and you want your rent deposit back. And the defendant says that your daughter actually left owing her money.
Yes.
When did your daughter enter the residence?
The 1st of March this year.
How old's your baby?
He's 11 months.
And what was the rent each month?
$350.
And how long did she stay in the residence?
1 month and 3 days.
And how much had you paid altogether?
$700.
So far, is all of that correct?
Yes.
Now, she left once the second month had already started, so I see you prorated the rent and you want $315 back.
That's correct.
Now I'll hear you.
Sisters by Choice is a tenant-landlord relationship, so therefore you are required to have a rental agreement and you are required to submit a 30-day notice. Natalie had been talking about a 30-day notice, however...
Do you have that contract?
Yes. The evening that she left, a lot of the paperwork that she was asked to complete was removed with her, but I do have an acknowledgement statement stating that she would give a 30-day notice upon leaving with her signature on it.
Okay, would you take a look at this? Okay. Did you give them a 30-day notice?
No, I had not. The night I left, they had thrown papers regarding rules and stuff and at 11 o'clock at night. And so when I had gone over the papers, I refused to sign only because I wanted my dad to look at them before I signed anything. My dad is an attorney and I wanted to make sure that they were appropriate rules. And so when I refused to sign them, I had been told that I had an hour to get out because I refused to sign papers.
Who told you that?
I'm not sure if he's the coordinator or the director.
They wanted you to sign off on some rules.
Right.
Had you looked at the rules?
Yes, I had seen them.
What rules were particularly problematic to you?
Something about like 5 o'clock in the morning, you would have to do Bible study and stuff. And I just was like, well, that's kind of funny because when you have kids and you need that time.
You have Bible study 5 o'clock in the morning?
No.
5 o'clock in the morning. Do you have Bible study at all?
We have morning devotions that start at 7:30. However, all of the house rules she signed when she first entered the program.
Can I see them, please?
Yes. And it states that we are a Christian-based organization, and part of our policy is to have Bible study and attend Sunday service. The rules that she's referring to about not willing to sign was actually a warning because she broke curfew that night, and she was already at a probation period. And she needed to sign stating that she would not break further curfew, and she refused.
What kind of curfew did she break?
As she said, she came in at 11 o'clock at night, and the rules are 10 o'clock.
Where was her baby?
With her.
What were you doing out at 11 o'clock at night with your baby?
I don't ever remember even...
Try to remember. What were you doing out at 11 o'clock at night with your baby? Where were you?
I was currently with a friend, and I don't remember this ever occurring about
What do you mean you were currently with a friend? I'm asking you where you were that night at 11 o'clock with the baby, and what friend, male or female?
I was currently on base with my friend that I always went out with every day.
When you have a baby, you don't stay out till 11 o'clock at night. You stay home. There must have been a reason why your mother thought that you had to be in a residence rather than being home. I assumed that that was part of the problem. Is that a fair statement, Miss Wilson?
To some degree.
Of course. Now, your daughter called you sometime around midnight, April 3rd or into April 4th, and told you she wanted to come home. Is that right?
Actually, she told me she was being kicked out.
Okay.
And because of the fact that she was being kicked out and not giving 30 days notice because she wanted to leave is one of the reasons I'm pursuing the return of the rent.
Did you discuss with your daughter the fact that she had violated curfew?
This is information that is new to me right now.
Well, why did you think she was being kicked out?
I was told that there were rules that she was supposed to sign, that she wanted her dad to look at them first. And
well, then she gave you a big story because she's already signed all the rules, you see? These are all the rules right here. She signed off on each and every rule. What the defendant is telling me is that they wanted her to sign a statement that she would not violate the rules again by violating curfew, which she had done that night. And she took the paper and she threw it in their face, and they said, okay, you're out. Is that what happened?
Actually, we asked her to sign the paper. She said, I'm out of here. I didn't want to be here anyway. Approximately 2 weeks before then, I had given her a 30-day notice and asked her if she felt she wanted to sign it because she had been making statements, I don't like rules, I want to do my own thing, and that her parents basically forced her to come. And as you see, she started filling out the 30-day, and then the next day her mother came and said, if you leave here, I'm going to call Child Protective Services and it's going to be an issue. She decided the next day, okay, I'm willing to stay 6 months and get the help. However, the friend that she remains on base with every day, all day, came by and they decided that it was appropriate to be out 11 o'clock at night.
You got it now? Do you understand? It wasn't house rules that she was being asked to sign. Your daughter entered this residence because this residence had certain structure that you felt as if she needed. Where does your daughter live now?
She's living in an apartment.
With her baby?
Yes.
Alone?
No, she's in shared rent.
With
shared
whom?
space with another couple and their child.
I don't know how long she's going to be at this place. You have a grandson or a granddaughter?
Grandson.
I suggest you stay close and not worry about $315. You've got bigger things to worry about. I think you know that. I'm just going to hear you very briefly. What money do you think she owes?
We watched Natalie's baby for 3 weeks while she was in school. That's not covered in a $350 rental. It's for the room.
Did you give her a bill for child care fees?
I explained to her mother the day after she came over, Natalie owes us for child care fees. She said, I'm not concerned about the child care fees. I said, well, you are responsible because you told me in the beginning that I will pay until she gets a job. So actually the $315 you need to get from your daughter because she owes us child care fees of $600.
Did you go to school?
Yes, I did.
Coach, just answer my question. You went to school how many days a week?
Here's the attendance sheet. It was not for 3 weeks.
I don't care how many days was it that you went to school?
7 days. The reason I didn't go to school a lot is because I would always complain to my mom. The babysitting was very poor and it was not on site. And
you got a problem. You have a problem. Deal with the problem. Put this behind you. Stop worrying about your $300. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Having been in the business for 17 years, it's typical behavior, and it exemplifies a very dysfunctional family.
we already know we have a lot of issues. Most families do.
If she were to ask me again to do it, I'd do it over the same way because it's all about making a difference in a young person's life.
Now it's case number 69 on the calendar in the matter of Ross versus Hahn. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Ross, Mr. Hahn was your boyfriend for a period of time. It is your claim that there was a violent outburst which caused destruction in your home by Mr. Hahn. You want him to be responsible for the damage that he did to your property. Mr. Hahn says you were actually the aggressor in that incident. He was seriously injured, and he has a counterclaim for his injuries and his medical bills.
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hahn, let's start with you. On what date was this incident?
It started January 16th.
2010.
2010, this year.
How long had you and the plaintiff been living together?
Almost 2 years at that point.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction.
What time did you get home on the 16th?
It was late night. I probably didn't get home until 6, 7 o'clock that night.
Why?
Because I work odd hours every day. I never work the same amount of hours every day.
Okay, but you came directly home from
work. Yes.
Go ahead.
We went out. We had dinner. We had a good night to begin with. We decided to go to a bar after dinner. From there, I was tired. Like I said, I worked 12 hours that day. I wanted to go home. And then she insisted that we went to a strip club. So we did, and we got home. We were both drunk. She was plastered. And next thing you know,
Let's go back a little bit. After dinner, you went to a strip club.
Yes.
How did you get there?
We drove.
Not we. Who drove?
I think she drove there that night.
She drove from dinner to the club.
Right.
Who drove home?
She drove home.
And the one thing that you know is you were drunk.
We were both drunk, yes.
Why would you get into a car with somebody who was drunk?
Had to get home somehow. We were both drunk, so somebody had to drive.
No.
And I was the only one working, so if somebody's going to get a DUI, it might as well be her.
Is that... Shh. That was your thinking? Or is that your thinking as you're standing here now?
That's my thinking as I'm standing here now.
Okay, well, it's nice to know what the operation of your mind is, some judgment. Okay, so now the two drunks managed to make it home, right?
Yes.
And is it now still the 16th of January, or is it now the 17th of January?
It'd be the 17th at that point.
Okay, so it's after midnight.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Next thing you know, I'm on the ground, my eye is being bitten, and I'm being stomped on.
By whom?
By Miss Ross.
No discussion?
Well, yeah, after... Well, she started blaming me for the loss of her child, which happened before we were ever
so then
even
you
met.
had listen to me. So you were having an argument. Did the argument start in the car, or did it start once you got home?
Once we got home.
Tell me about the argument.
Basically, she gets nuts when she's drinking.
No. Tell me about the argument.
The argument was about sex, like always.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to have sex. I wanted to go to bed.
I thought you said to me she was arguing
Well, that's
with
how
you.
that started with the child, was that I didn't want to have sex.
Yes.
I wanted to go to bed, but she's always trying to get me to get her pregnant.
And
I'm not ready for a kid.
So was the argument about that, or was it about the loss of her child?
Well, it turned into that. When you're drunk, nothing makes sense.
Well, it must make sense to you because you have a pretty vivid memory of it.
Well, it started off with the not having sex, turned into that, and then turned into me getting my kicked and going to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. And then you got arrested.
Yes, I did.
When did you get arrested?
That same night. It would be on the 17th in the morning.
Where were you arrested?
At my parents' house.
So after you went to the hospital, you went to your parents' house?
Yes.
How did you get to the hospital?
Ambulance.
You called an ambulance to the home?
She actually had to call the ambulance for me.
She did?
Yeah.
Okay, so she
After
called
she took the cell phone out of my battery, or the battery out of my cell phone.
She called the ambulance. Ambulance took you to the hospital on the 17th of January. Can I see the medical report?
Mm-hmm. You want the pictures also?
Yeah, you might as well. Bert doesn't like so much exercise during the day. You might as well give it to him now. Okay, thank you. All right. So you were arrested the next day at your parents' house because you were discharged from the hospital and went directly to your parents' house.
No, I left the hospital. I wasn't discharged. I left the hospital so I could get those photos. I took those pictures at home. The cops didn't care whether I was on the ground puking up blood or not, and she was sitting on the couch.
I'm losing you, Mr. Hahn. I'm losing you, sir. Right now you're in an ambulance and you're going to the emergency room at a hospital.
Right.
And I am not getting where you're getting to a couch with her.
Well, when the cops showed up at the house,
At
they
what
tended to
house?
her. At our house, where we were living.
Okay, so the police showed up, the ambulance showed up, so she evidently called 911.
Right.
And you said that there was domestic violence going on in the house?
Yes, and he was also claiming to be stabbed in the head and...
May I see your report on that evening? So the ambulance took you to the hospital, or the police took you to the hospital?
The ambulance took me to the hospital.
And the police followed?
No, at that point I wasn't under arrest.
Fine. Then you leave the hospital on your own.
On my own.
And go to take these photographs.
Right.
Where did you go to take these photographs?
My parents' house.
And the police came and arrested you at your parents' house?
Yes. Perfect. And then took me back to the hospital still.
Okay.
Ma'am, the cops were...
I'll get to you. This doesn't say what they did for you.
They didn't do much of anything for me.
So why did you leave?
They weren't tending to me. I had to go to the hospital when I got out of jail also.
Just a second. If you were injured, you were in the hospital. I don't understand why you left. Just to take these photographs?
I needed some sort of evidence.
Evidence in your case. Good evidence in your case would have been, sir, a doctor examining you.
I have
Listen to me.
though.
A doctor examining you on the 17th of January and indicating what your condition was. This doesn't say. This says that
They
you
did
showed
nothing
up.
for me that night. They took me to the hospital, told me to sober up, and then took me to jail.
Who's they who took you to the hospital?
The ambulance took me, then the cops took me once I was under arrest.
Just a second. When did you take the pictures?
That night, the 17th.
You mean when you were let out of jail?
No, before I went to jail.
So you weren't under arrest when you left the hospital?
No.
Hey, listen. So you weren't under arrest when you left the hospital?
No.
And you left there without being treated?
I had to. The police weren't going to take
Just a
pictures
second.
of me.
The answer is you left there without being treated.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just getting the facts.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had the bedroom door locked. He came and kicked the bedroom door right off the hinges, and then he pushed me on the bed and choked me.
Sounds like...
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Crystal Ross says her ex-boyfriend Tyler Hahn damaged her property in a drunken rage. Tyler claims he is the victim and is countersuing for medical bills.
Now, how'd your knuckles get all bloodied?
Punched the door.
I assume these are your nail marks on his neck?
They very well could be.
No, just a second. I assume these are your nail marks on his...
I assume yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't bite my own eyeball.
Hey, did I listen to your story?
You did.
Did she interrupt you?
No.
We don't talk out of turn here. Why'd you scratch him on the neck?
It could be...
Is not an answer.
It could be many reasons.
No, I don't want to know. It could be many reasons. Were you drinking?
He tried to
Were you
choke
drinking?
me. I had 3 drinks throughout
So
my
you were
hours.
drinking?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll hear your version of the events.
All right. On January 16th of 2010...
You went out for dinner, you went out to a bar afterwards.
Right. We ended up having to leave the bar because he was getting too drunk and starting to get a little obnoxious, so we wouldn't even leave the parking lot. He was already hanging out the window puking. I took him home. He puked before we could even get in the house, and then puked again in the bathroom and puked all over the floor and rolled over in it, and I tried to clean him up. And in the process of all that, he started yelling and screaming and calling me and I left him be and walked away and went into the bedroom, waited a little while for him to calm down, went back in the bathroom, tried to get him to go to bed and to get his pants off of him because his pants had puke on him.
Why did you do that?
Why would I do that? So that puke didn't get everywhere else and I didn't have to clean it?
I don't believe that part of it. I'm not buying that part of it. Somebody who is stone sober and has a drunk calling them all kinds of vile and vicious names doesn't go in and try to take their pants off and get them to go to bed.
It's because it's common for him to yell things.
Keep going.
I went into the bedroom to call his parents to have his parents come and pick him up so that he could get out of there because I wasn't listening to that anymore. And in the process of
what happened when you called his parents?
His parents were telling me that just to let him go to sleep and let it be, but at that point he was screaming and yelling too much that I couldn't.
Just a minute. At what point? At what point did you go into the bathroom to try to take his pants off? Before or after you spoke to his parents?
It was before. I just wanted him to go to bed and just sleep it off.
So you went into the bathroom to try to get his pants off. And then what happened?
He started yelling and calling me up.
I heard the names already.
I walked away.
Yes.
And let it be. I went into the bedroom and called his parents.
And?
Asked them to pick him up.
And?
And they told me that it was my problem.
And?
And in the process of that, I had the bedroom door locked. He came and kicked the bedroom door right off the hinges.
And?
And pushed me and stomped on my phone. And my phone went into a bunch of pieces. And then he pushed me on the bed and choked me, which I have pictures of that.
I'd like to see pictures of your injuries.
Okay. Should I keep going?
Nope. I don't know what this is of.
That's of my hip.
Sounds like, and it looks as if 2 of you had one huge fight. Okay. Now, what did he break in your house?
He broke many things. Not everything was just mine.
Listen.
He broke chairs.
That's what you're suing him for.
Right.
The property that he damaged in your house.
Right. He actually took the chairs and he broke all of my kitchen chairs. He broke them over me, and that's where the bruises on my legs came from.
Hold on a second. Would you please look at your statement and tell me, please, where it says that he broke any of your chairs? Which is the first thing that you told me.
It says he attacked me and then damaged my dining room table, which was
no.
part of that.
I see the word table. I know how to spell table. I know how to spell chair.
Right. That was in the process of all that.
No, not in the process of all that. I asked you what he damaged. You said he broke all your chairs, and he broke them over you.
Right.
And there's nowhere in this statement that I believe that he damaged some property. But let's try to get our story straight, okay? Let's try to get the story straight. This is your statement. This you swore to just recently.
Correct.
All right, so now let's get it together. Because if I don't believe one thing that you're saying to me, you can all go goodbye. Do we understand each other?
I do.
What did he break?
He broke my chairs, and he broke my picture right here that was in the bedroom. He punched it repeatedly, and that's where he got those gashes on his knuckles.
Can I see that picture? What else?
And just the chairs, and he stomped on my phone, but my phone was able to be fixed, so...
Mm-hmm. What is this?
That was actually...
That's a carnival poster.
No, it is not.
Hey!
My parents had that specially made for me.
Okay. Okay. So that's the gravamen of your case. You're suing for property damage of $1,400.
Correct.
Right? Now, there's a harassment claim here. You want to give me 30 seconds on the harassment claim by him?
He kept posting on Facebook about our court date. He was talking about how the court went spectacular, he's getting off easy, and of him calling me fat and posting it on there, and that he dodged a bullet dating a fat chick.
So, that's not actionable.
And then my mom got harassing phone calls in the middle of the night, which is on my order of protection too, saying that your daughter needs to watch her back.
Your mother is not a party to this proceeding.
Okay, but it was directed towards me.
Your mother is not a party to these proceedings. Okay. Now, let me tell you what your problem is, Mr. Hahn. Your problem is that I think you were both drunk. I think that you got into a big fight. I think that you hurt each other.
I agree with that.
That's what I believe.
Mutual
From
combat.
looking at the pictures, from looking at everything else, I think that you were both drunk. You probably were drunker than she was, but she got angry. And when a woman gets angry, she can have fewer drinks, but she becomes very volatile. You know what that means, right? You know what your problem is, Mr. Hahn? You pled guilty.
That was the advice my lawyer gave me.
That's not my problem. My problem is you pled guilty. I don't know what you pled guilty to harassment, to assault. I don't know what you pled guilty to. Do you have your papers?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to take a look.
You want the disposition papers?
I want all the papers from the court. Could you return this piece of art?
Thank you. Ma'am, did you want to see the order of protection I have on him?
Not yet. Pled guilty March 24th with your attorney.
Yes.
Charges read, rights and possible penalties explained by the court.
Yep.
Defendant pleads guilty to domestic battery, a Class A misdemeanor. Not a violation, not a harassment, a Class A misdemeanor. Jury trial waived. He was sentenced to 12 months probation. Is this the first time you were arrested, sir?
No.
Ever been arrested for domestic violence before?
No.
What were you arrested for before?
Assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Since March, have you seen each other? The answer is yes. When?
I honestly don't remember the date, but we ran into each other at a bar, and he was supposed to leave, and he refused to leave, and I called the cops because I didn't want any issues, and he was escorted out of there.
It just so happened to be the same date I was served the papers for the emergency order of protection.
I didn't know what day he ordered he got him, but I didn't know what day he actually got him, but I filed him before that.
Let me ask you this question, Miss Ross. What's the name of the bar that you went to?
Cousins Bar and Grill.
Have you ever been there before with Mr. Hahn?
Yes.
How many times before?
Multiple. That was one of my favorite bars to go to.
Was it one of his favorite bars to go to?
Actually, no. He never used to even go to the bars before we even met.
So that you went there just with him?
I've been there many times without him, too.
With him?
With him, I brought him there, yes.
How many times?
I can't even tell you. Probably close to 50.
Who got there first?
I have no idea. I was on the other side of the bar, and then when I moved to the other side, that's when I seen him. It's a pretty big bar, and there was a lot of people in there.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you leave?
Because I had a whole group of friends on the other side of the bar.
So what? Why didn't you leave?
I don't know. I didn't feel that I needed to.
That was pretty stupid. If I was scared to death of somebody, A, I wouldn't have gone back to a bar that we frequented together. Where do you live? In what city?
Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois. I've heard of it, so it must be a pretty big town, right? How many bars are there?
There's a lot.
A lot. I would have found someplace else to go. And if I saw him, I would have walked out. He didn't come over to you, did he?
No, we ran into each other on the dance floor.
All right. Your problem, as I said, Mr. Hahn, is that you pled guilty. So I'll give you my brief and, I might add, very free lesson in Law 101. When you plead guilty in a criminal proceeding, you are pleading guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the highest standard of proof that you can have in the law, all right? Here, the standard of proof is much less. Just more evidence than not that you did what she says you did. So when you plead guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, it determines the case in civil court. And the only issue that remains for me are damages. What are her damages? And as I said to you, I think the two of you had a good old drunken brawl on the 16th and 17th of January. But I am precluded by virtue of your plea, because I think you were both badly injured, but I am precluded by virtue of your plea from dismissing her case. So I'm awarding her $200 for the damage in her apartment. That's all. Step out.
Why does that excuse you? Can you step out?
He was completely out of it.
She was drunk, I was drunk.
I don't think he even remembered anything that even happened that night. He was so drunk.
I have no feeling left in my eyeball. Bruised ribs, cracked ribs.
He has anger issues, that's for sure.
Cuts, scrapes.
He very well attacked me and tried to kill me multiple times in that night.
I don't know how many times I had to go sleep at other people's houses.
Because I never seen it coming to this point. And after that, it was ended, and
because she came home drunk, so
I have not tried to be anywhere near him again.
I'm just staying away from drunk.